What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Evesports EGL 1 Season 2. We are here with the first matchup of the event. It's going to be Orgless Katte versus Damage Control, the legends of the South African CS scene. Nick, what a fantastic opening game we have on our hands, lad. Seriously looking forward to this one.
It's a juicy one, to say the least. It's a juicy one. I mean, you spoke about Damage Control and the history they've had in the scene, but Orgless Katte, they're a new five. They're up and coming. We'll see if they can battle out ATK as we've seen DNMK do in the past, but I think what a juicy game to start us off for the second season of the EGL.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, we've got Damage Control as sort of like considered as the gatekeepers historically in South African CS. So you have to beat them to sort of prove that you're in the upper echelon. Orgless Katte on the opposite side, all very well-known names across the board, and you can tell by their name they don't have an org at the moment, Nick. So they're going to be trying to work really hard on this event to make a name for themselves, right? Because they want to start turning some heads. They want to get people to recognize the potential they have and potentially invest in them. So these guys have got a really big prospect and a good opportunity to showcase their skills and abilities. But before we dive too deep, let's just talk about the event. I mean, you guys did the interlude the other day yourself and Wookie. Unfortunately, my car breaking down meant that I couldn't be there with you lads. But Season 2, Nick, you weren't a part of Season 1, but kicking off Season 2, 50,000 rand prize pool, a double elimination brackets played out over 8 weeks, which means we get to catch as much of the action as we possibly can, which is exactly what you want, right? Barely missing any games.
I think it's sick, you know, best of 3 of the best of 3 of the best of 3. We've got some sick teams in the mix. We've got the best in the country, your ATKs, your DNMKs, your Orgless Katte, and then you've got some of the wild cards which we saw get the draw, you know. You got Meme.GG, you got Intercalibur, some of the other teams which maybe they can cause some upsets. I mean, only time will tell.
Yeah, 100%. It's a great opportunity. I mean, 16 teams in total across the board going to be competing over the next 8 weeks to try and win their share of the 50,000 rand prize pool. And just like last season, we're going to be running some giveaways once again. I saw Clouds already getting his EGL 1 in chat. A little bit early there, lad. A little bit early. You never want to be, yeah, no. Maybe that joke's a little bit crude to be pulling out the bag too early on. So we're just going to reverse that one back. But yeah, we got some more giveaways coming up this season, guys. So make sure that you keep your ears out for that. Now we can talk a little bit more about the game. We got the opening round for the Season 2 kicking off, Damage Control versus Orgless Katte. Now, Damage Control have had a bit of a resurgence in the past couple months in the South African scene. Of course, it's the Legends, Ensign, Hellhound style, and of course Explicit, and then Wounded has joined the team as the 5th. But those 4 names are absolutely legendary names in the scene. And Nick, I think most people don't actually realize how incredible and legendary these players are. I mean, these guys had gone overseas 8 times before Bravado or Energy or Goliath or ATK was even remotely a thing. I'm talking like before 2013, like, you know, 2000 sort of thing. These guys were already going overseas and international and making an impact from a South African point of view. So to have them here still competing is a luxury, man.
Yeah, definitely. I think these are the 5 players, or the 4 rather, in the server that we're going to see. I think they paved the way for South African Counter-Strike in that regard. I mean, the fact that you can mention them in the same sentence as your Bravado with the JT and Sonic era, the Bravado with the JT, Sonic, Fady, Elusive, etc., and the ATK of nowadays, the fact that you can mention all those teams in the same breath, in the same sentence, it just shows testament to what they did. And as I said, paved the way for South African Counter-Strike. I mean, probably without these guys, We wouldn't
Yeah.
have ATK getting flown overseas and Bravado having
Yeah,
opportunities
exactly.
overseas. It's all thanks to these looks in the servers, the gatekeepers. They're the gatekeepers.
100%, Nick. And that's why it's actually a bit of a pity that people don't know how legendary and how much history these guys have behind them. So definitely something I'm going to try and shed some more light on going forward. Maybe I was talking to Inson, actually, potentially going to try and do a video, like a behind the curtain thing, the same thing I did with Elusive for my YouTube channel, just so everybody can like hear their stories and actually hear how much they've been through and how much they've seen. Talking about Orgless Katte, on the opposite side, we've spoken about these guys have all the history. We've got a couple young up-and-coming players in this team, the likes of Falls, Awesome, Zox. These are some names who are these guys have got a long part of their career ahead of them still. Their best years are still ahead of them right now. Awesome is actually probably the player that I'm most excited about. We saw what a massive impact he had at the most recent event that he competed with Sinister 5. Now he's been picked up by Orgless Katte. I actually saw PND in the chat being like, somebody needs to pick this guy up. So I think he went and took his own advice after he just saw how amazingly he was performing. So really looking forward to seeing him consistently competing in a team again, as well as Falls, man, because he's also shown some really solid potential in recent months.
Yeah, he was the player on that past XD roster where you looked at him along with the other four and you really saw him as the standout player. He often picks up the AWP, and it's going to be interesting to see PND rather dropping the AWP a lot more often. I assume Falls is going to be getting a lot more freedom with that role. But I think definitely you speak about the experience of damage control, and then you speak about the youngins on the side of Orgless Katte. I mean, we've got Zox and Falls, which are probably the two standout names for being these sort of young up-and-coming talents. I mean, Zox has been around for a little bit. Falls has had his resurgence, or not a resurgence, but an up-and-coming past couple 8 months, 10 months roundabouts. And I think the 5 in the server is super scary, like led by the experience of PND. Obviously, we've spoken about him going to Australia, getting all that experience. I mean, it's the 5 you want. A lot of firepower and a lot of experience, and a lot of experience and firepower. That's the word I'm looking for.
100%, Nick. There's also been some roster changes for Orgless Katte recently, right? Flexi and Wipeout both departing the roster mysteriously, and you got Awesome and Falls coming into the mix there. Of course, Mango also left a couple weeks before that once he joined ATK, and Zox came into the mix. So this roster's had a lot of turmoil, a lot of turbulence rather over the past couple of months, and now it seems like they finally have a consistent 5 together, so they can actually start putting time in as a unit and building themselves a platform, and then progressing from there into starting to realize their potential, which they have a hell of a lot of. You spoke about the AWP and PND. I mean, traditionally throughout his career, he has been an AWPer, and now he's going to be sort of picking up on a different role. Still will be the IGL. I saw Destroyed was doing a lot of the AWPing as well for this X-Energy team. You mentioned Falls, so I'm not sure who's going to be the primary AWPer for this team. I haven't seen too many of the ESEA games yet, so I'm not sure if has Falls been doing the main AWPing for this unit.
Look, in all honesty, I just think it makes sense if he does. I feel like he's so good on the AWP. I mean, we've mentioned 3 names who can pick up the AWP more than capable. So, I mean, the fact that you have someone who's good enough to be a primary AWP, especially on the secondary AWP, I mean, we'll see what time can tell. But it will be interesting to see what they get picked up. But we're getting into it, Matt. We're getting into it.
Yeah. Here we go. First round of the Esports EGL in 2021 Season 2 main event. We are kicking off the pistol round here. DC find themselves on the CT side. Was this their map pick? I just looked and I can't remember. Regardless, we got a fairly early push coming through here from Awesome, just clearing out the apartments, making sure that damage control aren't getting any information. And I like this from OK. They're not just sort of committing to the B bomb side from the get-go. They're first just making sure that there's no free information coming through for the CTs, and now they group up in Banana. They've got 2 smokes, flashes, molly. They've got everything they need to make this exec work. All 5 players still alive as well. Instant has a big job to do here from CT. He's going to try and swing out before the smoke peaks, or rather pops. He gets some shots off, but not able to find any fatal frags. Wounded, he's going to be dispatched off by Falls, and that's the B bomb site now in control of Orgless Katte.
Orgless Katte, they've already got the bomb down, and it's going to be a 4v5 retake, and if you're damage control, you're going to have a real tough time getting away back into this round. No util to expose this bomb site. All you got to do is wait for the CT smoke to fade and try to get some good pathing in. So that's exactly what Orgless Katte are trying to do. They're trying to show their presence, take these gunfights and cement their round win, which is exactly what they've done. Destroyed and PND, but Explicit is fighting back.
Shot style takes down one, tapping away. A little bit unlucky for damage control. You see the couple players there, you know, not looking too healthy. PND on 23, as you mentioned, that grenade right at the start did a massive amount of damage. So Doesn't work out in the end for damage control. It gets some damage in, but it's okay who draw first blood here on Inferno. I'm just going to follow up now and just see exactly whose map pick this was. This was Orgless Katte,
right?
Yeah, this was Orgless Katte. Damage control picked us too, which is of course the second map in the series. And damage control have opted for the Force Buy here, Nick, which I'm a massive fan of on the CT side of Dust 2. I would have preferred to have seen them maybe just invest into a few more smokes. I always talk about this when you're forcing up on the CT side of Inferno. Get those smokes, try and push the round as late as you possibly can, and maybe then once a bit of chaos ensues from the T side, the Desert Eagles can capitalize.
Yeah, that's definitely a big thing. We're speaking about the small choke points, you're speaking about upper B, you're speaking about N1 and
yeah,
Arch.
exactly.
There's definitely places where if you take contact, you could drop a smoke that buys you roughly 20 seconds of time, and you'll see what's going to happen. But all Orgless Katte are going to do is send Destroyed in alone, which is a pretty good strat. He's just going to get the info, understand that it's not a stack, which is not actually left them in a bit of a precarious position.
This is dangerous, man. This is really dangerous because it's a bit of false info. Destroyed commits his life, and he sees some players, but it's not a stack. And off the back of that, they're now going to rotate into the A bomb side. Halcon still waiting with the P250. Force isn't going to be anticipating this. He commits to the bomb side. Halcon's still able to take him down. PND's going to be swinging out next, and he goes down to the P250 as well. Damage control, sorting them out with the Force Buy. They didn't even need the smokes, Nick. The upgraded pistols get the job done. But Orgless Katte, I can't help but feel like they just got ahead of themselves there, man.
Yeah, definitely. I think they rushed it a bit. I think as soon as they saw two people down on B, they just thought they should accelerate A, which they almost got the timing, to say the least. I mean, they almost got it, to think that if they hit that side a couple seconds earlier, they would have got the player towards Arch out of the question. But just the player over towards N1, he just went big. I can't quite remember who, even though it was a couple seconds ago. I can't quite remember who went big, but he got one and then some. So Orgless Katte, they're going to rebuttal with a Force Buy of their own. Falls has got a Galil and a couple of Deagles, so this could still go anyway. We could see a battle of the Force Bars early in this game.
Ooh. Yeah, we might see the battle of the Force Buys. You're absolutely right, because look at the position that Orgless Katte have got to work with now. They've got 3 players through the archers. Instant in a bit of a good position. Oh my god, PND. That was downright disgusting and wounded. He has no choice now. He's getting boxed in from CT, so he's forced to take the fight at Banana. And I just love how patient both Falls and... Oh, I didn't see who was with them. It's the bomb carrier, so it's awesome. They recognize they need to buy time and wait for those players coming through CT, so they don't overcommit too early there, which means that they take down Wounded without any opportunity of him catching them off guard. So there we go. Orgless Katte answering back with the Force Buy of their own, and Nick, they don't even lose a single player, so that's going to be boding really well for their economy.
That's definitely a big thing. I mean, we speak about Inferno, we're speaking about economy, map control. It's pretty much the one map where you think about map control, battling for those banana and brackets positions. Of course, Inferno is sort of that blueprint of how to take map control effectively, using utility for what it's worth in that regard. And Orgless Katte, they're going to find themselves 5 men up and almost taking down Explicit.
Yeah, no, he goes down, He goes down, for sure.
Yeah, so that's really big. Orgless Katte, 4 up. They can start getting that economy up. I assume damage control are going to force back here. You're in double eco territory, which they exactly are going to do. So if Orgless Katte get this round with men staying up, the economy is going to be looking good. The rounds are going to be looking good. And then you've got a good start to the game on the T side of Inferno.
I'm keen to see how they're going to be adjusting their approach in the anti-eco after what happened, or the anti-force buy rather, after what happened in the second round from Orgless Katte's perspective, where they just committed Destroyed to the B-bomb sides. And I get that school of thought. It's like, let's use one player just to get information, but you kind of only saw 2 players at the B-bomb side, so it's not like they gathered any meaningful information, and then they just committed off the back of it. So this time round, I'd like to see them be a bit more tentative. You can see Zox is still the point player here. He's got support from PND as well. They're just trying to bait out and draw the util. They have way more in reserve, so it's good stuff here from Orgless Katte to force that util early. Just means that damage control don't have anything to try and create some shenanigans later on in the round.
Yeah, definitely. And Orgless Katte not going to take any chances. Going to regroup. They know at worst there's going to be 3 players on this B-bomb side pretty much. Falls is going to show some presence towards top and middle with that flash. Now they're going to choose to accelerate this B side. Then there are 3 players here, and Style is going to open things up. He's going to take Zox's head off as the exec does come in, but now he's shut off towards CT. So Wounded, he's going to take first contact. First oranges, and he's going to be good for 1. Staying alive, he could be good for a second. Eventually, Awesome comes in with a sick double frag, and Style gets 1. Awesome with the 3rd.
Oh man, an Explicit somehow able to get back through the smoke. Oh my god, Awesome takes him down as well. Destroyed dinked him 90-1, and Awesome just rattles off a few more shots through the smoke. He's like, cool, thanks, I'll take that frag. And they're just clearing out the angles here before they commit to the bomb plant. Destroyed was holding it, waiting for Hellhound. Bomb plant going to be stuck here by he's ace clutch it for the team. The quad kill throughout the round, and then he closes it out with the 1 versus 1 as he takes down Hellhound. My god, Awesome just goes absolutely nuclear in that round.
Oh, what a way to announce yourself on this new roster, you know. we got some big names already on this roster. Awesome coming into it. We probably think that he's going to be the star player along with Destroyed. I assume they're going to be the heavy hitters, and what a way to announce yourself, you know. New roster, question marks around your name. We know you had a good performance standing in for Sinister 5 in the last ESGA tournament, but now he's already put things up big. A big round coming out from him, and now Damage Control are on an eco. So now things are looking good for Orgless Katte.
Now that we have an eco, we can actually talk a little bit more about this Orgless Katte team, because you just sort of touched on it now, talking about the roles and the star players. The thing is with this team, right, is it feels like all 5 have the capabilities to pop off, more so you know, Falls, Destroyed, Zox, and Awesome than PND. And I think that's actually a good position that PND finds himself in now, where he's sort of surrounded by these star-studded individuals, because he can actually just focus on the calling role now. He can focus on his own game, how he's going to be setting his teammates up, and actually just try and put them in the best positions he possibly can. You know, Panda's a very smart player, and there we go. He says, Haze, don't forget, you know, I can shoot some shots as well.
No, Harry.
Yeah, that's unlucky. But I think that PND is actually really going to be liking the setup that he has now. There's going to be less pressure on him from a fragging perspective, and he's going to be able to focus a lot more on setting his teammates up. So I'm keen to see how he's going to be rallying this young roster and bringing them together. A lot of potential in this team, Nick. This is if everything comes together, yeah, this could be like a top 2 team South Africa sort of thing if they work really hard.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, looking at the name in the server, that's sort of like the stacked MM that you just know you're just going to lose 16-0 when you come up against them. So I agree with you. I think PND is definitely one of those players who he'll be more than happy to take the back seat, maybe putting someone else in his previous role where he had a bit more of a fragging influence on the team, if you would say something like that. I think that's why I assume he's going to be dropping the AWP. Again, I don't know if that's the case.
Yeah.
Maybe he's going to be dropping the AWP again, as you said, letting pretty much the 4 other players. There's no real exceptions in that rule. The 4 other players that are on the team with him just do what they do best, which is click heads. And I think PND, with what he can do, an experienced RGL, he's got a whole bunch of experience under his belt. He can definitely lead Orgless Katte to a top 3, even top 2 finish when things get tough.
First full gun round here, Nick in the 6th round because of all those 4 spies back and forth in the earlier stages of this half. So now we get an idea of what we're going to be in store for. It looks like Damage Control. No, they didn't throw any deep util besides the flash. Wounded up against the half wall. Yeah, he's got support from Instant as well, but util not looking too pretty up for Damage Control. They've already expended most of it. They've just got 3 smokes and a couple flashes left, and there's still plenty of time left in the round. So Orgless Katte here just need to stall things out and try and buy some time. PND catches the timing on Explicit. He comes out of Boiler, and it actually doesn't look like Style has realized that he's swung out into top mid here. And you can see PND realizes the opportunity he's actually created for himself. In the meanwhile, Awesome and Destroyed crack open that B bomb side. PND is going to be getting the sound cues now as Style re-explores back in towards N2. PND pulls the knife up, and Style misses the AWP shot. Somehow PND is still alive. Falls will be finishing off that frag, and now it's just Hellhound. Orgless Katte in the home stretch, actually going to be winning the round without even losing a single player.
Team Ace, not losing a single player and getting a kill a piece, you know. That's what you want. The team morale's going to be high, everything's going to be good. And I think it's interesting to think a team like Damage Control, and especially on a map like Inferno, we speak about them being gatekeepers. They've been around for an extremely long period of time. They've been playing as a quartet for a hot minute. And I think Inferno is one of the maps which is extremely influenced by the meta overseas. I'm pretty sure everyone just uses European EU teams, how they play Inferno as a blueprint. And I think that's going to be interesting to see how Damage Control, if they do watch their demos, if they do put the effort in to keep up with the meta and see how they choose to play around it. But I mean, Style, he doesn't need meta. He just needs the cross in the middle of his screen and a deagle to take PND out the round.
I mean, Nick, you and I, we always rave about South Africans and their deagles. Style, he was the pioneer of it, bro. He's like... the most legendary Desert Eagle player in South Africa, bro.
Columbus
Yeah.
of the Deagle plays.
100%, man. Like he's a very powerful Deagler, and I really like this as well. He gets a pick over at A. You can see he's got that Orpus mentality because he immediately rotates to the opposite side of the map. Wounded tapping away, can't find one from the boost, and falls dispatches of instance. So that should be the round secured now that Orgless Katte have taken full control of B. Just these pistols left. Style trying to get in position to spam here. Good attention to detail from Zox to put himself on top of the coffin to make sure that that's not an option. And this should be a mere formality from this point.
Yeah, and I think if Orgless Katte rather keep numbers up, then they're going to be looking really good. They're already pushing the 10k mark, which they'll get at the end of this round, especially with the bomb explosion and the round win itself. So if they can keep rifles up, they're going to be A for away on their map list, which is something to keep in mind, because for all we know, damage control, I mean, they beat DNMK in the ESCA intermediate division, so for all we know, maybe they're feeling super comfortable in their map pick dust, and maybe they take it off Orgless Katte, but only time will tell. But Orgless Katte, on their map pick, they've got a really, really solid start, 6-1 up, teams, the players themselves pushing 10k in the bank, and each of the players up on the board. And the same can't be said about Instant, unfortunately. A bit of a slow start to him, but he's going to try and bring things back.
Well, Nick, damage control have only gotten 6 frags in the past 5 rounds. So that's what sort of allowed this economy to spiral out of control. This is a big gun round right now for damage control. If they don't win this round, that's when things are going to be really starting to get challenging for them in this first half. You know, traditionally, Inferno, probably like a 55-45 CT-sided map, especially in South Africa. You almost want to call it like straight up 50-50. The likes of ATK, Goliath, they almost seem to favor the T side in general. So you should never feel too far out of touch when you're playing Inferno if you fall behind, regardless of the side you're on. But definitely Orgless Katte have hit the ground running here in this first map. And PND, again, he's going to find the timing on Explicit, just making an absolute nuisance of himself coming out of Boiler here. And this is so tough for the CTs now, right? Because this pit player now has to worry about apartments and in one. Style has no support watching middle, so he's forced to drop back. That's map control secured. And Orgless Katte sort of turning the world into their oyster right now.
Yeah, what Orgless Katte are doing so well is they're taking map control without giving up lives unnecessarily. So they've got brackets, they've got Inferno, they've got Banana, or they pretty much have Inferno.
They pretty much do.
Oh, but Style, Team Flash, PND's Team Flash, so Zox is going to be the one who's going to be the top.
Oh, Style!
Styling on them. He's got 3 so far. Hellhound towards Pits is going to try in for one of his own, and now it's Awesome left in a 1v4. And just as I was praising Orgless Katte doing so well, taking map control, denying information, it's going to be Awesome looking for information so that he can win this 1v4. He's got the first.
4 bullets. Oh, there we go. Yeah, big round there from Style. Great patience from him. He gets the quad kill, just mows them down. Mouse button 1. That was unlucky for Orgless Katte, right? Because of as you mentioned, the team flash that came through that blinded PND. And after that, I don't know, it was Zox and somebody else. They felt so compelled to try and trade their teammate out that they both just rampaged onto that A bomb site, checking that dark corner, and they didn't account for the pit player. So it was a nice crossfire set up there by damage control, just pinging between the 2 players, switching who takes contact. And it's damage control in the board in that all-important round.
Yeah, definitely, and that's something to keep in mind, because maybe they can start cementing some sort of a comeback. If they get a couple rounds in a row, Orgless Katte are possibly going to be looking at an eco, and they've got 6 rounds so far, Orgless Katte, and damage control, they want to be chipping away at that as much as possible. They want to be getting as close to that 7-8 mark as possible. But something I want to say from Orgless Katte that was alluding to last round is they're taking map control so effectively, not giving up their life.
Oh, another team flash.
That is a 27 bullet spray, and it doesn't matter how many bullets you spray because you got the frag, so it's 5v4.
Yeah, but that's unlucky because I think Awesome reckons he gets that kill every day of the week. PND again finds the timing on Hellhound. He swings out, he goes one further as he finds Explicit as well. Now it's just Style left on this A bomb side. He's been able to take down PND. On the opposite side of the map, there's some action as well. Instant stands tall with the double kill, and now Orgless Katte need to reassess their options. Zox has been able to lurk his way into this A bomb side. I think he's been using the audio cues here from Style. Doesn't seem to realize he is in the Archer's position, but he's going to find a free frag here, and that should be the round secured. Instant with only 17 health and a 1v2 clutch isn't in the best position, but is he gonna have a crack at this? Why wouldn't he? You got the AK, right?
Yeah, I mean, you got to respect it, you know. If he goes for it, you're gonna actually, looking at the money, you've got 2 rounds of loss, 3 rounds of loss.
He's gotten in a good position here. He's quite far forward, but just before this bomb's been planted. I wonder if the timing's going to work out. No, Zox is already watching the apartments. He's not able to react in time. Now it's just Falls rooted in the bomb sites. Instant seems to have an idea that he's still in the site. Won't know for sure. But he's making his way forward, and of course with the AK, he has the one-shot headshot potential. He clears the close left cubby, but Falls is sitting next to the box, so it's going to be an easy frag for him in the end.
Yeah, a bit of a dicey round once more. As soon as I'm hyping up Orgless Katte, taking map control so well, not giving up their lives. They team flash up a B again. Like that's a second, it's a new team, so
Yeah, exactly,
maybe aren't up, maybe they're not calling the flashes properly. There's a whole bunch of things, but they're going to be warming up. But the most important thing is they 5 rounds to the good. Damage control, they're just going to be getting some upgraded pistols. Not too many smokes, not too many pieces of armor that you've alluded to. Something extremely powerful on a map like Inferno. They're just going to go for the crosshairs onto the heads and see what they can do. But awesome and destroyed. They're going to get 2 already, which means the B bomb site is vacant.
Yeah,
Katte are probably going to post their A.
Good guy, Ensign. Barely invests into the round so that he can probably pick up the Desert Eagle for Style. Style the AWPer. He picks up the Desert Eagle light armor. He's like, yeah, I know you're going to be dropping me the gun next round, so I'm going to go for the luxury buy here.
Yeah, I mean, you got to... There's always that one guy in the team. That's
I'm just trying to think internationally. I think like Kenny is one of those guys who likes to buy up quite a bit and then have the AWP drop to him. There's a couple of those type of AWPers.
Yeah, that's what Amanek does. He's the guy who's...
Yeah, he's
like,
the Mac 10.
Yeah, he's
him
like,
and Sanji, bro.
All the time. I'm like, have a UMP. Possibly one of the most dog guns in the game, but play with it and let Kenny S get 4 kills in a round after missing about 3 AWP flicks because he's not in form. But we won't talk about that.
Well, then I can use the example of Sanji and James because that Virtus Pro roster is... they're looking fire. I mean, there's like a couple months ago, you could have made a case for them being like the best team in the CIS region, but Navi's definitely starting to look better as of recent times, and that Gambit team is also straight fire. So there's a couple really powerful teams in the CIS region right now, but another big gun round here in the double up setup and play. The nade does huge damage, but Orgless Katte seems to be charging forfeiture. It's the full B rush. They bring it out the bag here. Wounded in first. Orange is himself able to get one, but there's just too many players around him to find the multi, and that's the round over before it began. Damage control just going to be trying to lick their wounds and take his weapons into the next round.
Suka Rush B. We're speaking about the CIS teams and Orgless Katte said, we'll do our best impressions of that. Just Rush B. And there was an interesting the HLTV live podcast sort of thing when it was an interview. I want to say it was, who was it with? I can't remember, but it was one of the players from that VP team. The question was, Yakindo, that's it. And they were thinking, will CIS Counter-Strike take over the next year? And it's really, really interesting to think. I mean, we see teams like Na'Vi, teams like VP, teams like Gambit.
Yeah.
Top teams in the world. VP coming into a lot of form recently. And,
yeah.
I mean, this new IEM challenge thing that's going on right now, it's going to prove testament to where the CIS Counter-Strike will take over the world. But I mean, South Africa,
I mean, Spirits as well, potentially.
Yeah.
Just another one to throw in the mix there.
There's so many teams.
Because I'm just checking the HLTV rankings right now, and Virtus Pro are top 5. They're 5th in the world right now. So yeah, that sort of does solidify the point you just made. But yeah, coming back to South African CS, damage control, they find themselves behind the game right now, Nick. They need to start making a bit of an inroad on the CT side, and Falls with the AWP, maybe answering our question there. He finds Style. Oh, and he nearly finds the timing as Explicit just wants to retrieve the weapon. But yeah, this is a big round for damage control. Full gun round. Lost an early player here. And definitely starting to fall behind.
Yeah, another problem is, again, they don't have banana info, they don't have bracket info, so you got to take some sort of a gamble. You're already a man down, you got to do some sort of re-aggressive play. So, I mean, this AWP's already over towards B, so contacting up B with the rifle, super powerful. You can get some info like that, but I mean, Awesome's just going to give an alien back into winning this round. That was a really overzealous peak, really not needed, and now Explicit is going to double down. So now, just as it was man disadvantage for damage control, it's man advantage turn even. Just as I was saying that. So now it's Explicit. This round's pretty much going to fall on.
Oh no. Falls misses his shot. You hate to see it. If he lands that shot 2v2 post plants on the A site, you back Orgless Katte from there, but now it's just destroyed left in the 1v3. The one thing he has got going for him is that he's making his way towards the B bomb side where Wounded lies in wait by himself right now. So if Destroy can find this kill, he'll solidify himself a decent position. Man, this is so ballsy from him. He's just going to commit to the plant, hoping that there's nobody on the bomb site itself. But Wounded, well, he'll pick that frag up, no doubt. No trouble at all.
I think him hearing the AWP shot through CT, he thought that they were playing retake on the B bomb site. So completely respectable, but... Damage control with 3, so maybe 9-6 half incoming?
I mean, they do keep winning the round where it's like the must win. So they're just keeping themselves in the mix here, but they need to string some together here, because if they lose this, 12-3, 11-4, whatever, it just doesn't feel like it's going to be enough against this Orgless Katte side. As you mentioned, they haven't been too proactive towards Banana in particular. But on the flip side of that, they haven't really been given the opportunity to, because Orgless Katte have also just been fighting them tooth and nail. And I mean, Destroyed, he's not a fun person to go up against in Banana, because he's the type of guy who will just take fights with you again and again and again and again and again. He'll always be looking to try and have that fight and get in your face. So I understand why Damage Control would rather just try and preserve their resources and take the fights on the bomb side. But as P&D on the opposite side, he's found the opening for his team.
Find the opening and then throw it away in a heartbeat. Like Orgless Katte, they find themselves in so many of these 5v4 situations, and we saw last round pay testament to that. They got the 5v4 and then they just threw it away in pretty much a heartbeat, which against better teams possibly will be punished. But I mean, as we said, it's a new roster, people getting over Zella style. This is what we wanted to see, this re-aggression, getting the info. They've cleared brackets. Now you should get that rotate over towards B as fast as possible. It's coming in now. 2 players on this bomb site going to be held accountable for this executes, and there's 1 player towards Emo. He's pretty much just going to be fighting to the death. That's wounded. So how big can he get? How many can he get?
Oh my god, Falls. Jesus. That was a big shot from Falls there to take down Wounded, because even if Wounded gets 1 kill before he goes down, he leaves his team in a favorable position. Now it's a 3v3 retake. Falls finds another before he goes down, meaning the 2v2 is ensued here. Hellhound trying to make his way up Banana, but it's Instant who's holding his nerve, holding the yank. Misses the shots on Destroyed, but he takes enough attention for Hellhound to get in the mix as well. And that was a class retake there from Damage Control, just bouncing between the 2 players. Hellhound taking contact, and then Instant able to find a pick, and then they just work together to eliminate Destroyed. So Damage Control keeping themselves in the hunt.
Yeah, definitely. And capitalizing really, really well on Orgless Katte's mistakes, and then really going to reap the benefits of that and find themselves 4 rounds. And I mean, if they can get these last 2 rounds on the board, I think they'll be pretty chuffed, considering they were 9-2 down, bring it back, 9-3 down rather, bring it back to 9-6. They'll be more than happy with that sort of scoreline. But it's always tough when you're staring at double digits in the first half. So Damage Control are going to try to do their best. Destroyed giving Awesome a bit of a tap on the back. New teammate thing. He's just warming him up.
It's like it's initiation, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, nah.
It must be. He has to
and now
start the round on 59
well.
HP. It's the rule.
Yeah, I mean, he's like, I've got the AK. I just need 1 health, and that's enough for me to make a mark. Damage Control committing both their smokes. No, okay, it's just the 1. Instant still has his. But is Wounded going to be hanging around here? That's the question. You can see probably as the smoke starts to fade, he's going to make his way back, and that is the case. And P&D, he's been tagged down as well. Styles had a pretty good start to Inferno here, by the way. He's top of the server. No, he's got 12 kills, nearly top. Falls has 13. He's leading the way right now. But Styles been...
What?
Oh, the retake. Wounded. Looking to try taking on top Banana back one again. The trade was there, but it's still Damage Control who come up with the favorable situation.
Yeah, no. It's a 3v4. Only 1 player on this B bomb side, which is going to be the one with the question. They are choosing to play retake on it. So, I mean, Instant in this position, he's playing this off angle, assuming they're going to contact in. I assume if they do smoke, then he's just going to take a pot shot through the smoke. But if they contact in, he's good for 1 and he can stay alive. They're going to be looking really good. But he's going to peek and shoot nothing, which gives up his position. Now they can smoke towards CT. Understand that he's playing retake. And they actually mollied off. 20 seconds left. He can still have an avenue into the site.
Only flashes left on Orgless Katte, man, so they can't actually smoke off coffins. Yeah, it's going to be a tough plan. 15 seconds left. Style has an AWP, which is actually a bit of a handicap right now. I bet he'd be loving to swing through that. CT smoke destroyed. He's timed out. I thought he killed himself somehow, but not to be. Can they find the plant here in time? Instant will take down Stott, so it's going to be a bomb plant, but that's all it's going to be for Orgless Katte. Damage Control starting to find some steam here on Inferno, and it's actually something we haven't been able to speak about much is this map pool. Of course, this is Orgless Katte's pick, and we go to Dust 2 next. In my opinion, those are Damage Control's 2 strongest maps in the pool, so I think they're going to be feeling really happy with this first 2 maps that they have in the series.
Yeah, I think maybe they're going to be... I think it'll be pretty much surprising to a lot of people if Damage Control, because at face value you think, of course, Orgless Katte, they should 2-0 Damage Control, but obviously that's not the case. We know the names that Damage Control have got, and I think if Damage Control take a map, they can possibly even win the series, especially if it goes to the 3rd. But it is going to be interesting to see whether they can can do some noticeable damage. They find themselves 9-5 down. Unfortunately, Destroy has disconnected, so it's going to take a bit of a minute for him to get back. But damage control, they've got these last couple rounds. They're looking good. They're pushing that 9-6 scoreline, which wasn't something you would have expected considering they were 9-2 down.
Yeah, absolutely. They've fought their way back into this, and they've certainly given themselves a fighting chance here on the CC side of Inferno. As I spoke about earlier, it's like a very 50-50 map in South Africa. It almost comes down to personal preference. So they'll feel like they're definitely in the hunt here, especially if they can find a 6th. I mean, they probably feel like they have a bit more momentum going into the second half, even though they're down 6-9, just with those last 4 consecutive rounds. On the flip side, Orgless Katte might be a little bit frustrated with themselves because they have been in some decent positions that they just haven't been converting. So once they get that discipline up there, then they'll be winning those rounds. But as we've said a couple times, still just figuring out the finalities, you know, new roster things. Need to get some synchronization going. Awesome. Is he going to tick to the molly? I think he's okay. And it looks like he actually wants to try and get aggressive here towards top banana, but Instant there supporting Wounded with the AWP. He's been doing a good job here, especially towards this B-bomb side, just landing consistent shots. Nothing too flashy or special, just holding angles and finding kills, man.
Yeah, it's super interesting considering damage control haven't really gone for heavy banana pressure. They've just pretty much taken it slow. They're cycling their smoke towards the top of B. They've pretty much conceded banana early in the round. They played semi-aggressive in brackets. So they still keep some sort of information, but they've got the man advantage into this round, and now they've got a 2-man advantage. A sick hold from Instant through the smoke. He's going to take down P&D as the exec does come in. But a 2-man disadvantage, and Instant's going to be pushing the smoke again, and he gets a 3rd. Instant rolling back the years. Wounded gets 1, Strike 1v5, turned 1v4. Winnable, maybe? I don't know.
I'm not putting too much money on this one, Nick. He's got some time. He's trying to chase down Instant, but you can see Instant's already aware of the possibility. The shoulder peak's not going to be baiting out Instant. He finishes off with a quad kill, and Nick, he's finished the half as the 2nd top fragger on his team. And was he on like 0 kills up until like the 7th or 8th round?
He was 0-0-6 at one stage.
Yeah,
so the fact that he's turned that around, gotta respect
10 kills in 9 rounds. Yeah.
Fact. He's feeling it, you know? Who said damage control were a bunch of rallies and gatekeepers? Who said that?
Definitely not us. But, I mean, you always want your IGL to be feeling it, especially when you're going into the T side, right? Because then you can translate that momentum, that individual momentum into some fire calls as well, perhaps. So let's see.
Yeah,
got
and
the
it's
P250 on style.
It's also super interesting when your IGL's feeling it. The calls themselves feel super confident, but it is going to be an arch rush. P&D is going to take the first into explicit. Can he get a couple more? He won't be able to, but awesome. He's going to chime in with one towards the pit position. And readjustment. He's staying alive. Sick play from Awesome. All 5 CTs are here. I don't see a way in which Orgless Katte lose this round.
Yeah, surely not, right? Rotations on point. Awesome, just still tapping away with the P2K. Oh, I thought that extra bullet in the clip was what was going to make the difference in him finding the kill there for a second. But he misses that last shot. However, great pistol round for Orgless Katte. They pick it up. They keep all 5 players alive as well. Everybody loves it when you buy armor and you win the pistol round without taking any damage, because then it just costs 350 for that upgrade to head armor. That's a really feels good. Until your teammate at the end of the round, he's like, I'm just going to tap you and like, you know, give you a love bite. It's like, bro, you didn't just take 2 armor away from me, man. Like,
we're playing economical game, man.
Yeah, 100%. DC are going to force back into this though, Nick. Yeah.
Which is something you don't see that often on the T side, considering...
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially what something you can do is if you get like 5 AKs up and maybe if you don't have too much utility, contacting up banana is something super powerful nowadays, because you usually get banana controls as CT, you rotate one over, usually either leave the guy AWPing there or jump spotting. One flash takes him off that angle and you can contact up banana, pretty much not using any utility. However, there's a big problem with that because you're fighting into a whole bunch of your time. How long are you going to wait until you do such a thing? But I mean, they're forcing into the second round. They've got no smokes, no utility at all to hit a bomb site. So it does look like Orgless Katte are looking favorites to take not 11 but 12, considering damage control will be eco next if they don't get this.
100%.
But I mean, maybe they can do some magic.
Yeah, on that note, Nick, I definitely would have preferred to have seen DC just investing into some light util here. Maybe like one player forgoes you know, the upgraded pistol and he buys up a smoke and 2 flashes or something like that. Just to give them some sort of equipment and tools to try and get into the bomb site, right? Because now they have to take these dry fights, and you expect the SMGs to come out on top, but We did see damage control winning a force buy earlier on, and Falls is in no man's land. How he's alive for so long? Eventually he's going to be going down, and this opens up the wrap onto the A bomb side. Zox nearly caught in no man's land. He needs some support from his apartments player. Style's going to find another. It's spiraling out of control fairly quickly here, but awesome. Salvages the situation once again for his team as he picks up a quick double. And now it's on Style in the 1 versus 2 clutch. He's got only 10 seconds left to try and get on the mix. And he has to die here, Nick. He cannot afford to survive. If I'm Orgless Katte, I'm calling don't kill him. Let him take this into the next round. Because it's actually going to be giving them a bit of a bigger handicap going forward. Because now he's completely disjointed from his team, economically speaking.
Yeah, and I mean, he's not gonna be pretty chuffed, especially when we see Ensign dropping him the orb possibly, and he's probably gonna get like a Mac 10 in return. It's pretty much gonna be Amanek all over again. But
oh god,
that's something to keep in mind. Orgless Katte, they playing the high IQ game. You're not gonna hunt the frag because what's the point? You know, you don't want to give up another life. There's no need to. So they're just gonna let Style survive. He's only got $300 now, and as you said, his economy is completely disjointed to the rest of his teams. But it doesn't matter. He's got the deagle. He's tagged.
Bro.
He's killed Falls. He's tagged Austin to 10 HP. So,
oh my god. This was the plan all along. He's like, guys, I'm going to save the deagle to win the next round for us just with this weapon I saved and armor. No problem. I got this. And this is actually sent Orgless Katte into a bit of a spiral. One thing they do have going for them is that they've got, who is it? It's Destroyed Top Banana, and the smoke is deep, so he's able to just spot there. That's afforded them the extra rotation of PND. He's got the rifle as well, so they still have the standard 3-man defense on the A bomb site right now. So even though they lost an early player, they still should be getting across the line here fairly easily.
Yeah, especially considering there's no utility once more from the side of damage control, no flash, no smoke to pop on this bomb site. So it should just be all she wrote pretty much. Style, the only man with armor, has been taken out this round. There's 3 players left, no armor beyond their pistols, so it should be all she wrote pretty much for this. Just got to keep lives up for the side of Orgless Katte, and that's what they've done. However, Instant has slipped the back lines. So he doesn't know B's clear.
By the way. Yeah.
He doesn't know B's clear, but he's going to have the timing. They have no idea he's here.
Yeah, Destroyed's like, guys, he has to be in apps. He's in apps.
He can get a... This bomb plant is big, considering what we were talking about with Style.
Yeah,
this
true.
Bomb plant is going to be massive for the economy, but he's going to be clearing out the Soma, not...
The PND is on the hunt now as well, by the way. He's on the prowl, and Destroyed's also charging. He doesn't get the plant.
Plant the bomb!
He just can't predict that this B bomb site is completely vacant.
Please,
unfortunately, he's taken too long to clear it out, and Destroyed's just going to come flying around the corner. Instant actually lands the headshot, but he still goes down. And Nick, you were spot on. That would have made a big difference. That would have been an extra $800 for Style, so that meant he would have had 4,300, which is enough for sort of a drop in AK across to Hellhound. But now Hellhound's not going to be afforded such a luxury. Who's going to be... Oh, there's an AK.
He didn't buy armor. He didn't buy... he bought...
Okay, he doesn't have head armor. Oh, that's a bit of a... I mean, I'd rather just glass cannon and buy the Util at that point. I don't know about you. The thing is, you don't have head armor against the M4s. Might as well not have armor at all. Maybe that's a bit of a stretch, but... let's see how that ends up affecting him.
Yeah, it's the first buy round of the second half, and this is going to be Orgless Katte's... First gun round, rather, not buy round. First gun round of noticeable accounts. It is still somewhat of a little bit of a bonus for Orgless Katte if things were going super well for them. There's an SMG on PND, but there are some players who are pushing eco territory if they do lose this one. But pretty much, they've got a 4-man A setup. They've got banana control. They've got the info towards that side of the map. Style's actually taken down Destroyed, so that's going to call this rotate out. The double setup is going to get called out. Damage control are reading Orgless Katte like a book.
Oh no!
Middle Socks gets 2.
He nearly finds a third. Falls is actually, he can win this, you know. Explicit is low. He sprays down Instant through the smoke. Explicit's exposing himself as well. He's actually lucky to get away with his life there. Zox, or rather, falls into the 1 versus 2 clutch. Upgrades to the AK. Oh, Explicit's going to be coming back through the apartments here. Falls just not at all anticipating him to be so far forward. And so he's going to get taken down. That's an unlucky one. I mean, I understand the school of thought there from Orgless Katte because they have a couple SMGs, so they feel compelled to try and make some sort of a play, especially because they lost that player at top banana. So they take that double peek in apartments, but they end up just being mowed down without getting anything in return. And it looks like they're going to be ecoing in response here.
Yeah, it's a bit rough. I mean, I wasn't spectating Destroyed, so I don't know how he lost his life. I hope it wasn't an overpeak. I hope he was just jump spotting and Style hit a sick shot. That's what I'm hoping. So I'm gonna keep positive affirmations in my brain for that one. But he's gonna be the one.
Benefit of the doubt.
Exactly. Yeah. He's gonna be the one questioning towards bottom banana with this mag 7 and. already Orgless Katte, they're going to cheat or rotate. Actually, no, they're not. Panda's going to come back with that molly towards upper B, but it is just going to be a standard 3-2 setup for the side of Orgless Katte. They don't have too much information towards brackets or towards banana, so this round is pretty much damage controls to do's.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Orgless Katte gamble here, maybe stack a fourth player over at the A bomb side and leave Destroyer by the half wall. I mean, obviously, you want to try and hedge your bets, but in these sort of situations where you just have upgraded pistols and, you know, the one shotgun, maybe you go for the gamble. PND going to get boosted up here, but unfortunately, he can't land the shot. Now, obviously, that's also given Destroyed's position away as well, right? You need 2 people to boost, so he's still hanging around here. This is surprising to me. He's trying to dodge bullets through the wall here, hanging around nice and close. He's hoping PND's going to take the bait, and then maybe from there, he can swing out. He gets the first one, so he doesn't know he's going to be taking Style down as well. That's the bomb. He upgrades to the That could be the round over, you know. Wounded on the opposite side of the map finds one, but that's a little consolation right now. Destroy just continues to do damage. He's going to find a fourth as well. Single-handedly winning the round for the CMS. Single-handedly, PND, he had his hand in that as well, just taking the bait, taking the attention, allowing Destroy to swing out. And Wounded hasn't. He's like, guys, someone bring the. Oh, okay. Yeah, never mind. No one's gonna be bringing the bomb because I don't have any teammates left.
Oh, Wounded's calling his teammates and Destroyed is picking up the phone saying, sorry, cuz they're all dead and banana. He gets 4 on the round and Orgless
That was dirty though, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
they shouldn't have won.
That Mag 7, man. It's a nightmare.
Gotta respect it. I respect that play.
Who do you think the best Mag 7 player in South Africa is? Because the first name that came to my mind was Fady.
Chili Willy is the GOAT.
I didn't say negative, bro.
To be fair, like, no one actually... I think shotguns
I mean, Fady uses it quite regularly. Fady likes to pull it out. I've seen Fady use it every time.
I mean, if Fady uses any gun, then I'm pretty sure he's near the top. If he uses, I don't know, Doolies, he's probably in the top for that conversation.
The Sheriff. Yeah, fair.
He should just get the revolver and just be like, oh wait, Urks, I'm the best revolver player in South Africa, and no one will dispute him, not even for a hot second. Yeah, exactly. Easy. Yeah.
Okay, so Wounded, of course, stayed alive in the previous round, which means again there's a bit of a mix-up in terms of the economy. There's a triple round loss bonus, so shouldn't be affecting them too much. PND finds Style, and off the back of that, damage control going to try to propel themselves into the safe bomb site. All 4 players wrapping around through archers, but they only have 1 smoke, no flashes. How nice would a flash work right now? But maybe a change of plan. Hellhound just wide swings on PND, puts his ass in the grave, and now it's Destroyed, who has a bit of an awkward job to do now because he's got 2 different angles to try and contend with, and he's going to be putting himself in first oranges. He needs some support, and it needs to come through quickly. X Energy, they're gambling here, Nick. All 3 players just rotating straight out of that A bomb site. They're actually going to be getting towards the B bomb site before this bomb has even been planted. There's still Instant waiting over that library. He doesn't realize he's not going to be getting any action. Orgless Katte not wanting to waste any time here. Zox finds 1, but the damage is being done. It's only falls left now. 1v2, he has the AWP. That's actually a bit of a handicap right now. He was hoping his teammates were going to find the initial frags. Now he has to make his way into a crossfire that's been set up. And Explicit's not taking any contact. Instant, he's holding the angle right now. Spots at the gun barrel. He's got all the information in the world. And the switch up for the Org does falls, but he's not getting any clear-cut fights right now. He has got a kit, so if he can find these kills quickly enough, this round's still on. He sprays down Explicit, switches up for the AK, wants to try and bait out Instant, but Instant is reading it. Is he still compelled to swing out? He's been brought down low, and he's been brought down low enough, but there's no time left on the defuse. Want to find the defuse, and damage control somehow are going to win that round.
Trading eco round, you know, the round before we thought Orgless Katte shouldn't have won, and this round PND pretty much getting caught in no man's land towards CT. I'm not really sure. I know he's scared of that arch wrap. I know you got the opening pick towards B. You're scared of the arch wrap, but he's got to be playing safe in that scenario. You're literally in no man's land. You can get double swung, especially when your teammate is isolated and pushed back towards the A sides. He's in no man's land. He gets 1 frag. He gets fragged rather, and then that AK is there to get picked up. There's armor behind it, and everything looking good for damage control in the end. But it is going to be 13-8, and finally damage control have some sort of a rebuttal on their T side, and let's see if they can get some more. It's a rough buy coming out from Orgless Katte again.
Yeah, and you can see they're trying to get aggressive into apartments as well. You got Awesome, who's here with the CZ, and he's gambling a little bit that no one's going to be coming up the stairs. He wants to try and find the timing on Wounded, but Wounded lands the instantaneous headshot, so he'll be taking him down. And this is where things get tough from the CT's perspective right now, because they already have that lack of weaponry. That's why they're trying to make a play towards Banana. 1-for-1 trade so far. Destroyed still hanging around here. Needs to be careful. There's 2 players on the opposite side of this half wall. He can't escape either. He's been mollied off and he loses his head to Style. So this should be a fairly easy round for Damage Control to convert from this point. Unless Zox and Falls, the 2 young guns, can work together here to make something happen. Zox should be getting a frag for free onto Wounded. Oh, the scope from the Org actually nearly blocks off the play. Still gets the kill. Falls able to swing out. He drops the bomb carrier. He needs to be packing off right now. Oh man, he just needed to drop back into church and wait for Zox to get in on the mix as well. The 2 versus 2 was winnable from any position in that situation, but because he continues to try and force it and take the fight, he gets traded out, and I wouldn't even mind seeing Zox save from this point, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think he's literally just heard your words and he's going to get out of dodge and get out of that situation. And again, Falls in that situation, it's a 2v2. You could buy time for the retake, play your life. Zox has a molly and a flash on him. Maybe that wasn't calm, something along those lines. Maybe Falls felt that he needed to make some sort of a play in that scenario, but Damage Control just capitalizing on that mistake and now pushing it into 9, thinking that Orgless Katte now have to eco around this Org. Maybe it can be set up for some sort of a flash play. Maybe he's going to be the guy soloing towards B. But it does look like Damage Control are setting themselves up for a double-digit scoreline until they see the next gun round, which is something interesting to keep in mind considering they were 9-2 down at the start. They lost the pistol, I believe.
Yeah.
And then everything's been going downhill, but now they're starting to bring things back.
Yeah, it's sort of the same sort of theme we saw in the first half, right? Where Orgless Katte got off to the good starts and then Damage Control started to sink their teeth into it. They don't have as much time to work with in the first half as they do here in the second, so it's good to see them getting on the board, stringing a couple rounds together, and this should be a 3rd consecutive round for them. Third in the past 4 rounds as well. Which is just going to be getting into double digits, which is always a nice little mental high ground. So they're competing here, our Damage Control. They're keeping themselves within arm's length of Orgless Katte.
Yeah, and the Org already out of the question.
Yeah, but check out what's going on right now. He's wrapping all the way around into middle. Instant the timing. It's going to be missing the timing. Not instant, rather the player at ramp. The line comes through. He finds 2. He finds the 3rd. There's a player bottom. He runs out of ammo. He can't find the 4th kill. Hellhound. He selfishes the situation somewhat, but the quick double. Falls doesn't expect Wounded to be in boilers. He's going to be offering up his life. Should mean that Awesome could maybe get a kill for free here. Does he have the audio cues? The smoke is going to be dropped. I suspect Awesome's going to go straight through this. He does. Finds the head tapping away. Oh no, the aim punch is too much for him to deal with. Oh my god.
He wins that. That's what I'm saying. Unequip it.
Yeah. Oh, Panda somehow nearly makes an unimaginable play a reality. Bro, he just needed like 2 more bullets in the magazine to find that kill onto Hellhound.
Oh, that would have been
so unlucky.
That would have been straight up the tournament so far. Yes, we're only in game 1, but it doesn't matter.
That's a comfortable play of the tournament.
Exactly, exactly. But to keep that, like, Orgless Katte, they're now buying into this. So
a lot of economic damage
13-10
to back that as well.
Yeah, exactly. Only two people staying alive, I believe, towards the last round. Zox is already taken out towards Boiler. So again, Damage Control find themselves in firm position to take another round off Orgless Katte.
In check Wounded, bro. He's surging into the safe side off the back of that early pick. He doesn't want to give Orgless Katte any chance to try and regroup the defense right now. Somehow he's still alive, but his support is coming through thick and fast. As all the rotations falls, he can't assist his teammates. It's on Awesome right now to do the job by himself. He finds 2 before he goes down. It's Panda who gets in on the mix as well with 2 of his own. And finally, Falls will be able to close out the round. So the defense stands tall. Even though Zox fell early there. I don't mind Damage Control's decision making. I mean, normally you'll say try and use that advantage by playing out the round, but they identified an opportunity. Maybe Wounded was just a little bit too far ahead of his teammates there for them to effectively trade him out. But still, in the end, it will be Orgless Katte to get across the line. I see some pauses here being called. Not live is the word right now. Not a big fan of what Zox tried to do in that round, Nick. When you consider how important this gun round is, not that it's like the be-all and end-all, but they've lost a couple on the trots. It's the first time they've had the gun round in a while. And that's where you normally want to try and play it a little bit safer. You know, you're just in Boiler by himself, no support, no opportunity for a trade. And he goes down in like the first 15, 20 seconds of the round, which is... On the CT side of Inferno, that's a tough position to be left in, man, because now you have to make a gamble. Are you going to stick 2-2 splits on each bomb site, or do you pull one of those B players across to A to make it the normal default defense? And it's just not a position that you want to be in so early on in the round.
Yeah, definitely. I do think I do disagree with you that I mean I do agree with you that the play wasn't a good one. I do think that the molly in apps was intended slightly earlier, and then I can more understand that sort of play, peeking towards second middle, getting that
Okay.
information. But as you
I didn't
said,
even see that sequence, to be
yeah,
fair.
at face value, it just looks like a big misplay from Zox. It's always a favorable headshot position that the AK is going to munch you up every time of the week, and he's going to fall. But I mean, what Orgless Katte did there, which was super interesting, they just hightailed that player out of B as soon as possible. They just left one player on the site, one player
Yeah.
hightailed it out, and then by the time they tried to accelerate up N1, there were already 3 players on the bomb site. So things were looking really good for Orgless
Yeah.
Katte, and they were able to bring up the round.
I mean, that could be some vital information for damage control as well, right? Because they should know that P&D is the B player, along with Destroy. So as soon as they, Wounded gets in there and they find, that early kill, and then P&D all of a sudden is in on the mix from the CT's perspective, finding frags on that A bomb site, and they're barely given any information away. So my point in case is that maybe damage control could try and use that information going forward, throw some fakes towards the A bomb site, maybe pull that quick rotation across, and then execute onto B. We'll have to see how that ends up playing out going forward. I think it's especially because damage control got that early pick in apartments. That sort of compelled PND to commit to the rotate straight away. He didn't want to second guess it and end up too late. So we'll have to see. We'll see how it plays out going forward.
Yep. There was just some FPS issues, I believe, because I did see log address underscore add 1 in the chat, which is pretty much go-to command if you have FPS issues. Everyone says change res and stuff, but I mean, that's a little bit of a hack to take away from the stream. Just add that command and you're pretty much sorted. So the round has been reset, and we do look like we're going to be A for away. Another investment coming out from damage control, which is something interesting to keep in mind.
Are there guns on the ground? No, there aren't any. So this is going to be a bit of a mix buy.
This is pretty much.
This is like the MM now, guys. We're not playing for the draw. Everybody force.
That's when the EGL goes, do you guys want to play for 15? And then everyone goes, no. Actually, someone's already bought when the EGL's like mid-sentence about asking whether they want to play for overtime. And then he's already bought and everyone's like, okay, I guess we're playing for the win.
100%. So that's it. Damage control putting all their eggs in one basket here. They're going to be committing to the full investment here. A couple Galils. Inson, he's going to be getting the short end of the stick. I think it's going to be a pistol and armor for him. I wonder if we're going to see the B rush here from damage control, Nick. I mean, I wouldn't be entirely surprised. Just waiting to get things back underway here momentarily. It will be a few moments and we'll be back underway.
Yeah, it's a bit rough. I think there's so many games going on the below servers, so...
Yeah, puts a bit of extra pressure on the servers, perhaps. But, I mean, this has been a competitive game so far. I mean, Orgless Katte have comfortably been in front pretty much from the word go. But damage control have also been keeping themselves in it, right? They have been competitive the whole time. So this is it's still leaning towards Orgless Katte. They should be closing the map out from here, but damage control are making them work for this one, which is exactly what you want to see, especially since it's the first game of the season. We want to be seeing everybody, we want to be seeing interesting games, close games, competitive games. And while I ramble on, let's chat about the giveaway, Nick, because we have a giveaway coming up later, which will be opening up at the end of this map. It's going to be a 250 Rand Steam voucher for you to spend on whatever you like. Could be skins even, Nick.
I would skin straight away. No lie. Skin $250 in the account right there in the top right hand corner next to the little ABR of your name and there.
What skin are you buying?
The community market. How much does the AK red line field testing? I think it's pushing 300 Rand.
Oh really? I thought it was cheaper than that.
Maybe it's pushing 200 Rand.
Yeah. I mean, could buy keys if you're a gambling man. Could pick up some keys there as well. 6 or 7 keys, maybe an 8th key there. Maths is off right now, but hey, I mean, that's like converting the 250 into a knife, bro.
I mean,
or into a couple of blue skins.
Blues that are worth about 120 Rand at a push.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it's rough. But I mean, what skins? Like, you can get a nice AWP skin for that price. I mean, if you don't want to go the skin route, you can get a couple of games. I mean, 250
Could get a few like... Yeah, definitely, with some sales going on.
Yeah, I mean, it's free. $250 for putting a word in chat. I mean...
Yeah, and now, Nick, the bad news for you is that you can't win any of these giveaways now. Because I remember you won the backpack last season, right?
It's actually behind me, in all honesty.
Okay.
Like people can see it. It's there, and it's been good use.
If you want to hand in your resignation right here, right now, I'll take the cast on with Wookie. You can enter the giveaway, and then you come back for the next stream. Like,
Look,
I think that could be
the
and then we
gamble,
split
hey?
the winnings. We split the winnings.
Deal. Low key.
Sorry guys, we're just waiting to get the server unpaused here. At least we've got the reset going, so we're ready to kick things off once again as we get to see all the sick angles. You got the what's that, like an armored vehicle right now we're looking at on stream. You know, just getting it from all angles. Sexy beast. But should be underway here soon. Second map of the series is Dust 2, which is historically a map that Damage Control are very competitive on. Style in particular is just a monster on that map. Hellhound is a menace at the B-bomb site, so I'm keen to see see some Dust 2 a bit later. And then if we go the distance, we've got Niix as the third map in the series, which is also a strength of Damage Control. So this map pool definitely is a pool that they would be happy with. So not going to be any question marks in that regard.
Yeah, it is super interesting to see, like, sort of maps where I assume they banned Vertigo, like the new map. They were just like not having any of that, not a fan of that, don't want to fall off the map and whatnot. They just got that straight out of there, and they just want to play what they're used to, which I massively respect. We speak about, like,
they banned Overpass, Nick. They left Vertigo. It was actually oh no, it was DC who banned. Never mind. Okay, unless our Nick got it wrong, which I don't think he did.
I'm never wrong. We've been over this before.
And I didn't mean Nick. I meant Josh. But yeah, you're never wrong, Nick. Only when you are. But outside of that, you never. Outside of those times, you never are, bro. And there we go. We're unpaused. Game is live. Hopefully. Do you know who the kings of tech pauses are at the moment? It has to be Scrawny and Launders, man.
Like, yeah, fact.
I don't even mind if there's a tech pause when I'm watching a game when those guys are on the cast. Just turns into like a podcast.
Is by far my favorite casting duo in the world. Launders is by far my favorite color caster. I think he's so good at what he does. His 100%. Voice, I would be more than happy if he read me a bedtime story. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, style. Never turn your back on a live gun. Oh, what's going on? It's still live. Game is going. Okay. Even though we've got the console spamming away, we're still in action here. Game's live, and Orgless Katte will be happy with that. Especially awesome as he's found an early pick. That's also $600 in the bank, of course, courtesy of the MP9. And Nick, this is not an ideal start to the round for Damage Control, considering what they have to work with. I mean, 3 Galils, an AK, 2 smokes, and 3 flashes are all they have left here to try and find a way into this round. Yeah, I think they have to just go for the B exec here. They just don't have enough util to try and take top brackets control, work their way around into the A exec. I think they just have to commit to the B hit from here.
Yeah, and it's not only this round, right? I mean, we're speaking about that this round, this investment pretty much in a whole is pretty much going all in. If you lose this round, it's going to be real tough to come back from. So it's 14-10, 5v4 in favor of Orgless Katte. 2 players have rotated towards this B bomb side, which is going to be the bomb side in the question. Perfect molly timing, and Explicit is going to be the first to fall. Also going to chime in for one of his own. And just like that, it's a 2v5. Hellhound and Wounded are going to fight from the pits to try wrestle this round back. Awesome. He seems to be sniffed out towards second oranges.
Yeah, he has. Oh, the flash! PND throws the perfect flash to give him the support. Hellhound, he goes nuclear with the quick triple. He knows that PND is towards coffins as well. PND doesn't have to take this fight at all. He just needs to wait for Falls. I think Falls may have given away some audio cues there as well, but there's only 8 seconds left here. Hellhound has to make a play. He has to force the issue here, and he's going to be losing his head. Oh, that's so unlucky for Damage Control, because when they're entering the B bomb site, they actually do a decent amount of damage to both Awesome and Destroyed, but it's not enough to find the kills. So it's 2 kills that go the way of Orgless Katte without anything back in Damage Control's favor. Then they're able to find some frags, courtesy of Hellhound. He picks up the triple, but too much damage had already been dealt. 15-10, Orgless Katte on map point.
Yeah, super rough for Damage Control. Things just not going their way so far. But I mean, considering how the thing started, the fact that they got to 10 rounds on the board, gotta give testament to them. But all the banana info has gone the way of Orgless Katte in this round, and already the rotate has been cheated all the way over to A. So if A is going to be the site under question, Damage Control had to take 4 players out of the server, and it does look like it is the side of the map they're leaning towards.
Yeah, I mean, it's the perfect read, and this is the standard CT hold, right? You take deep banana control, and then you post 1 player, rotate the extra man across the A bomb site. So, I mean, Orgless Katte have the perfect setup right now. They got the bait and switch between Destroyed and Zox as well. Zox just sitting pretty in the cubby. And, I mean, this is a dream setup for the CT side of Inferno and a gun round. Destroyed's done his job. He just needs to back off now. Zox shouldn't be peering around there. You sort of want to try and buy your time there and pounce when they're not expecting you. Destroyed still hanging around. Needs to be careful. Instant also making his way forward. Zox wants to get in on it as well now. Able to find one. He finds a second on the line. Now Flash comes through, but it actually blinds him as well. Falls gets in on the mix with 2 quick kills. And that should be solidifying the round. Even though Style opens up the B bomb side, he doesn't have the bomb. Able to upgrade to an M4, but this is do or die right now. 1 versus 2, lose the round. The map is over. Win the round, or win the clutch, and Damage Control are still alive and kicking. But the bomb is instead of crossfire. Awesome has already a bit of a pixel gap with the Org, which is always going to be a great weapon to have in this situation. He loves the Org. He'll be using it as frequently as he can. And there we go, 16-10, X Energy. They pick up the first map. They pick up their map pick. 16-10, as I said, Nick, they were pretty much in control for the entirety of that map. And they're going to be taking some good confidence and momentum into Dust 2.
Yeah, definitely. And they're going to be looking to clean out the series 2-0. They take their map pick, and now we're on to Damage Control's map pick. So maybe they got something in store that we're not ready for. Maybe Damage Control are going to put some sick rounds up on the board. We're going to see what they can get done. But I mean, the first map does go the way of Orgless Katte, their map pick, which is something to keep in mind. But the question is, can Damage Control take it all the way to Nuke?
Well, I'm certainly not going to be doubting them. And also from what I mean, this X Energy team, when I saw them performing on Dust, were very sketchy. But there have been some changes since then. So I'm not going to be sort of judging them on their past performances. I'm keen to see what they're going to be bringing to the table here in the second map. Damage Control, though, they are not a team to be taking lightly on Dust 2. So, guys, we're going to be taking a short break now. But before we do take that break, let's open up the giveaways for that 250 Rand Steam voucher. All you have to do is type EGL1 in chat, one word. Spelling it out as well, EGLONE, and then you're going to get entered into the giveaway. Make sure you only type it once, because if you type it more than once, you're going to be discounting yourself from the giveaway, and nobody wants to see that happen. So, giveaways are open. We're going to be taking a short break. When we return, we'll have Dust 2. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Evesports EGL 1 2021 main event, of course, season 2 here. 50,000 rand prize pool, 16 teams. We're in the middle of the first game here in the upper bracket. Orgless Katte taking on Damage Control. We just came off the back of Inferno, where Orgless Katte won fairly comfortably 16-10. Now, without Damage Control making them work a little bit, but they were pretty much comfortably ahead for the entirety of that map. Nick, now we move into Dust 2. This is Damage Control's pick, and they have to win this map to keep themselves in the upper bracket.
Yeah, definitely. And the upper bracket is definitely something you want to find yourself in. But I mean, we spoke about it. Orgless Katte, it was their map pick that they took on Inferno. And now it's a different beast. It's Damage Control and it's Dust 2. Name a iconic duo. I'll wait. We'll see what happens if they can bring it back and take it to Nuke, which I think will be an extremely interesting third map, and see whether we can take it to that. However, I mean, we speak about what Damage Control can do on Nuke. We speak about their strong B hold, stuff like that. However, we speak about the extreme high firepower that Orgless Katte have, and I think Dust 2 is definitely one of those maps where you can run the 4-1 extremely powerfully. Four people getting sent out long while you leave one person in lowers. You can do stuff like that. 4 people
100%.
going out long, one person up short. It's all stuff like that. So maybe the individual firepower of Orgless Katte can be the thing that wins them this map.
Yeah, I mean, there's no shortage of individual firepower when it comes to Orgless Katte's perspective. As I have said, though, but before the break after the first map, I was not convinced by the X-Energy team on this map. Even though they had the firepower, they just didn't seem to have the cohesion to be competitive. So I'm keen to see how this new team is going to be working. I think that Awesome is going to be fantastic on this map. I just think he's a dangerous player, whatever map he's competing on, but I just think Dust 2, especially, loves using the Org on the CT side, and you've got a lot of long-range fights to take on this map, so I think he'll be prolific. I'm just keen to see how they're going to be working Dust 2 now with this unit. I agree with you, the 4-1s are probably going to be a major theme, just looking to keep things simple. Of course, they haven't been together for too long, so they wouldn't have been able to adjust too much in the map pool. I mean, like I said, they lost Mango, and then they lost Wipeout and Flexi, which was like a double whammy. So, I mean, this is almost like a newfound team, and when you change 3 players, you can pretty much have to completely overhaul their entire setup, right? So let's see how things are going to be working out. On the flip side, the only thing that's older than the Damage Control player, or the only thing that's older than Dust 2 in the server right now is the Damage Control players. So these guys have been on this map. They probably have 1,000 officials played on this map. They're going to be super comfortable. They know everything there is to know about this map. And yeah, this is certainly their home field. So I think that they can be competitive here, Nick. I think that a third map is on the cards going into Dust 2.
Yeah, I don't think they're any right-off right now. I think this map can go either way. I think Damage Control probably do come into it as favorites. I mean, you speak about them. They've played on the map probably longer than Zox has been born. They've probably been playing on Dust 2 longer than Ethan's been alive. So
yeah,
I mean,
saw the joke, Explicit's old enough to be Zox's father.
Exactly. And I mean, it's not false. It's not false. But I mean, what you mentioned the Org, which is something I think we need to speak about, because I mean, in pro games, we see overseas, we don't even see an M4 in the server at times. We see this Org being fully in meta right now. It's got the scope. It's not as powerful as it used to be, but it's really finding its way back into the mainstream, where people can just hold down bomb sites. I mean, we speak about backplats on B. If you have the Org there, you're good for that multi-frag potential. So maybe Awesome is going to be above the water compared to everyone else. Maybe Damage Control don't even pick it up. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe the Org's gonna frag out.
I'm just glad it's not the Krieg anymore, Nick.
Yeah.
I'm just really happy that we're past that era, man. Yeah,
the Krieg was rough times.
I get PTSD when I think about that era. And then the UMP was another like really weird one where it was just like outgunning AKs and M4s, the $1,200 rifle. We've had some interesting times. I mean, the R8 when they just brought that out and it was like 1 shot, 1 kill wherever you hit somebody.
The old AWP where it had the same movements as like a scout.
Oh, bro, the old AWP was nasty.
The jumping deagle.
Players like okay, but that wasn't an error. That was a mistake in the patch. Remember, like it was like a 1-day thing, and everyone was confused. It's like, is this actually going to be a thing now in like South Africa? I mean, in Counter-Strike where you can land these dirty jumping deeks. But going back to that thing you said about the AWP, when you had like the same movement speed as the scouts, that's when Kenny S was just like untouchable, bro. There was literally nobody faster in the entire world when it came to using the sniper. Of course, Guardian was another one of those players, and as soon as they nerfed the AWP, those players actually inadvertently got nerfed as well, and they were never really quite as effective. So we're underway. Pistol rounds underway. So kicking things off, Orgless Katte on the CT side, looking to try and get aggressive. They want to take the fight with these T players. They had 3 players mid doors, 1 pushing up short, but it's already a 3 versus 5. However, Zox, he's been able to get 1 back in response at least. But the bomb charging its way up short. Falls is going to fall to the long player as well. And this should be the round over. PND doing the Lord's work right now. Tapping away. That was a sick shot that he found onto Wounded. He's got support from Zox as well. But Zox was left high and dry. He thought that PND was covering short. PND needed to reload. Which means the IGL is now in a 1 versus 2.
Oh, baby. PND 1 versus 2. No players in the server with armor right now.
Oh my god, PND, what are you doing? Oh my god, and he can actually, he's on the angle here, but that's a 10-second no kits, and instant he can smell it right now. PND, he can't afford to hold it. Oh my god, he's gonna take the fight, and he lands the clean surgical one-tap onto instant as well. What a round from the IGL, Nick. Orgless Katte, they look to try and assert their dominance by just taking the fights immediately in middle, but they get slapped down by damage control. However, that's not enough to send them packing. That jump shot. We need a replay on that jump shot. If we haven't seen one already. Yeah, we need. I've been advocating this for a while. We need casters pauses because we sometimes need to just catch our breaths as well, man. That was. Oh my god. PND is he's cracked, bro. He's cracked.
If he gets vacked after this game, I won't be surprised. That's all I'm saying.
We need like the classic where the observer just reports him straight away. Remember when that happened in? I can't remember who he did it to. I think it might have been like Flusher or something like that. In the middle of the stream, the observer just like right-click report. We need that right now. But anyway, damage control, they're going to eco. That's a contrast to what we saw in Inferno on the T side when they lost the pistol. They opted to force buy. So now they're just going to play the longer game here. Save up in this round so they can afford the weapons in the next.
If we see another jumping USP, because Destroy just got that one tap, and
yeah. I didn't catch the one tap. It wasn't a jumping shot, was it?
No.
Okay.
Thank
God. Otherwise, I just would have. Nick just would have timed out. I think.
Cried, actually.
Yeah. Your internet would have died.
Oh my days! But I mean, it's been an eco, so there's nothing much to worry about. 4 players up.
The one thing I do want to say is Orgless Katte should never have won that pistol round, right? Especially after how things started, they went down 3v5. So they've been afforded a bit of a lifeline here in the early stages of Dust 2, where they got that big reprieve, winning the pistol. They win the anti-eco. How many players? They just lost the one. So it's going to be a bit of a bonus round of sorts now for them. The Org comes out immediately, destroy. It's another one of the player who fancies the weapon. We see him using it time and time again. But this is a good opportunity for damage control. When you see the economic situation Orgless Katte find themselves in, they don't have enough money to full buy into the next round. AKs across the board here for damage control. If they can win this gun round, they set themselves up nicely here in the early stages of Dust 2.
Yeah, straight away, Orgless Katte are going for that long control as pretty much the whole of damage control. But bar one, we're speaking about those 4 ones.
Ooh,
bar one are all, are all towards the left side of the map. The only player that excludes that rule is Style, just lurking out towards long, ensuring that Orgless Katte don't get free information towards this side of the map. But if damage control do lean towards this B side, there is a bait and switch. Or not really a bait and switch, just a full bait from PND towards the side of the map.
Who can bait each other more, I think is the question. Oh, no.
Hello?
Okay, PND he got ants in his pants, and now Destroy's going to cross as well. I kind of like this option because damage control surely aren't going to be expecting another player. Oh, they must have seen him cross if they're throwing that molly. And that's actually a nice lurk smoke. Destroy's had to throw. Oh my god, somebody's able to put 2 holes on mouse button 1. He sprays on Wounded through the smoke. And Orgless Katte are just getting lifeline after lifeline here on Dust 2. Lots of damage has been done. Zox on 1 health. Destroy's on 12. Still winnable here for damage control, but there's a lurk coming through from Awesome. He's going to be trying to find Style, but he's going to actually be going down. That's a big kill because it means the A bomb site's open. However, the bomb's in the B bomb site. Surely damage control look to try and use the ramp here to try and split onto this B site. Now turn it into a sort of mid to B exec. You can see Style going to look to drop down into CT. 25 seconds left here. No util left. There's low players on the server for Orgless Katte. This is very doable for DC. Falls is the full HP player. He has a job to do. Style's going to take down his teammate. It's the kill. It's just Sox left in the clutch, but he's going to be going down as well. And damage control get across the line.
Damage control get the first round on the board, but it was so rough from Orgless Katte. PND playing in a super closed off position. I'm pretty sure Destroy did have a smoke, so if he wants to get out, if he's feeling pressured, just smoke tunnels, get out. You can do that all safely, but I mean, PND just tried to swing out, take some sort of a gunfight, I believe, and he just fell. So damage control, they post the first gun round on the board, which is actually they didn't get over on Inferno, so things are already starting to look good
Yeah.
damage control, but Orgless Katte, they're just going to meet this round with straight up aggression. A double push towards upper tunnels, a peek towards short. And this round could go Orgless Katte's way. That's an AK to be retrieved.
Oh my god.
And armor behind it on the side of Destroy It, but he's going to be flanking T-spawn.
And he's flying right now. He might actually be catching them off guard just by purely how fast he's pushed. I'm not sure if anybody's watching this right now. Doesn't seem like anybody's aware of the possibility. Explicit nestled in the corner will be able to avoid him for now. And you can see damage control. They're just going to rush towards his side. Instant does take down Awesome. P&D, can he emulate his pistol on heroes? No, it's Instant who's going nuclear. 3 dope headshots from him. And now Destroyed finally able to get in on the action after running the marathon through T-spawn. Round over.
Saying, I'm looking at the stream now, and I'm happy the stream didn't see what Awesome just did.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
The observer did him a favor, basically, is that what you're saying? Okay.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Just, Nick, let's give the people one last chance to enter the giveaway here before we roll the winner. Guys, we have a giveaway for a 250 Rand Steam voucher that's open for the moment. Only South African residents can enter, and you just have to type EGL1 in chat. Doesn't matter if it's caps or not, make sure it's one word, and make sure you spell out the number. So, number 1, EGLONE, as one word, enters you into the giveaway. We're going to be announcing the winner in the next couple rounds. Make sure you stick around for that, because if we announce you as the winner and you're not here, we're going to re-roll your giveaway, and nobody wants to see that happen.
Yeah, no one's a fan of that. No one likes to win something, and then you win something, and the commentator's like, yo, we call for this person, and then they don't rock up. No one likes it.
Bro, the worst is when you see someone win a big knife giveaway, and then like the 24 hours goes by and they re-roll it to somebody else, dude. It's like, damn, like surely not. Explicit, he gets caught off by Zox in the close cubby there. And that's a second kill for Orgless Katte in the round. And this was a bit of an awkward round for them, Nick, because they had 4 Pharmacists and the AWP. It's Falls who did open things up with the AWP, and Zox has been able to upgrade to an AK as well. So now their buy is looking far more bolstered. And damage control going to have to make it work with the 3 remaining players. Probably maybe look for a B splitcher. They do have 2 smokes to work with. 2 players clustered up in middle. And they're going to have to make a decision. 40 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah. And it does look like they are going to be getting some extra info towards short. A flash comes out over the top. Style tags down Falls, but he's going to retreat. 30 seconds left on the clock. Damage control is spread all throughout the map. 1 player on short, 1 player in middle, 1 player upper B. A save is what could have been on the cards, but Destroyed. He's just going to spray towards middle, get 1. PND going to take out Wounded. Style, last player alive, can't get anything done in the 1v4, which means Orgless Katte make it 3-2, 1 round to the good, and have a response to the rebuttal that damage control had the 2 previous rounds.
Which is actually really nice, because it's the CT side that I was the most concerned about coming into this map for Orgless Katte. So the fact that they win that gun round, keeping 4 players alive as well, is going to be allowing them to just set themselves now here in this first half. Damage control don't have enough money to buy up, courtesy of the fact that they lost numerous players in both of the rounds that they won. So it's just going to be some upgraded pistols for them, pretty much. Besides Harry, Instant again. Oh, excuse me, it's actually Hellhound this time. He's got the Glock. Destroyed, bruv. It's just pistols, lad. I know you want that KD, but these are not frags you need to force right now. And in fact, he's lost a teammate, so this could get awkward very, very quickly. He uses the full 35 bullets to find 2 kills, and thankfully, Awesome also picks up a frag towards the B bomb site. So it's not going to be too challenging from here, but not what you need to be doing, right, in these sort of situations, like making those types of aggressive plays in anti-eco rounds.
Yeah, definitely. If you keep men up, you know, the economy starts to build, and at the end of the day, every tiny mistake, it all builds up, you know. In rowing, we used to talk about matchboxes. You know, matchboxes are what wins or loses your race. It's that little couple centimeters you get each stroke. It's the same in Counter-Strike. You can extrapolate it to so many different things. Keeping a man up this round, that round, it all builds up at the end of the day.
Oh, I completely agree with that school of thought, Nick, and it's a really important thing to consider in Counter-Strike, because so often you just see player like throw a flash for no reason, or, you know, just making small mistakes that people think don't have big impacts, but it's those inches, those small differences that can end up having large impacts on the outcomes. So I completely agree with you, and I think it's really important to be aware of those facets of the game.
Yeah, and
game of inches.
That's what they speak about on the big stage, you know. Oh, okay. I'm going to hold my thought. Destroyed. He's going to be pushing loads and take down Explicit. Man advantage going to go the way of Orgless Katte again. He's going to get out dodge. Man advantage going the way of Orgless Katte, rather. and things are going to be looking really good. But one thing to keep in mind is this isn't a full investment from Damage Control. They're pretty much going to concede the 5 rounds. Yes, they do have firepower to possibly do some damage, but it does look like Orgless Katte are going to be favorites to win this. 3 players towards upper tunnels, 1 towards short. What I'm going to say is by the time this round's done, we're going to know who wins the giveaway, Matt. By the time the 7th round has been played out,
last chance to enter, lads.
Someone's going to be $250 richer, you know?
Yeah, last chance to enter. EGL1 is the keyword as Style absolutely demolishes Falls. He's going to fly up short. This is actually a nice little fake here because look at the rotations that it's pulled. Like a magnet, it's pulled those B-bomb players all the way across towards the A side. Now they're going to be hearing the util raining in, and PND is going to realize I might have over-rotated here. Numbers starting to rain in as well, but the smoke has missed its mark, and that means that the bomb's not going to be able to get across safely. Oh, man. Guys, who threw that smoke? Right now, who was it? Who's taking responsibility for dropping the ball? Hellhound. He's able to retrieve the bomb, but the vultures have already surrounded the site.
I've got it. They smoking for the doors flipped the other way.
Oh no! Oh no! They're throwing the old lineup.
I'm telling.
Surely not.
I've got it. I've cracked the code.
I mean, I don't even want to call it new Dust 2 anymore. That's like saying the new economy. There's nothing new about it anymore.
Yeah. It's the exact opposite of new, to say the least.
Yeah, but at the end of this round, we're going to roll the giveaway. We've got a bit ahead of ourselves there. Last chance to enter, guys. EGL1 is the keyword. Make sure you spell it out, EGL-O-N-E, one word. Right now, Damage Control looking to try and spell out W-I-N in the round because they're starting to fall behind. It's early days yet, but it's Orgless Katte who have got the momentum behind them. Destroyed, who's been very proactive in his defense in middle. Once again, looking to take a fight. He receives a bit of damage, but he's alive and kicking yet. Style, peering above the smoke, will take him down. And he is just so dynamic on this map. He's always having an impact for his team. And again, he's top of the scoreboard right now. 8 and 6 for Damage Control, that is, of course.
PND, he's going to drop the smoke and try to push through it. Instant was just spraying the cubby and just happened to walk into his crosshair. And the same happens to Wounded over towards long. So it is going to be short under question. Falls,
unlucko. He throws the molly to short, thinking he's got full cover, but they've already wrapped all the way around onto the bomb site. So, somehow he's actually been able to stay alive the whole time because Damage Control haven't looked to take the fights. He actually shoulders Style. That nade will dunk on him, but it's not going to be enough. Not able to land the quick shot either, so that means it's just Zox left in the clutch now. Spots the head of Style, finds the first, but immediately gets wrapped on by Explicit. So Damage Control back to winning ways here on Dust 2. And that was all born off the early frags. I mean, there was just a couple individual fights that were one Style takes down Destroyed in mid, PND loses his life in upper dark, and then Awesome feels compelled to make a play, and he goes down in long as well. So 3-1 versus 1s all go the way of Damage Control, and that's pretty much what solidified them the round.
Yeah, and just like that, we're speaking about giving up your life wastefully in the eco rounds, and maybe that didn't happen, I can't quite remember, but it's 5-3 and it's an eco for Orgless Katte, so things aren't looking too great, but we should have the answer to the draw any moment.
Yeah, should we roll it?
Someone's going to be $250 richer.
Let's roll the giveaway, baby. Let's see who's going to be taking home that 250 rand Steam voucher. It's crazy, you crazy man. You are now 250 rand richer. Congratulations. I hope you're still here, to be fair.
Only in Steam gift vouchers, though. So,
hey, man, the balance is the balance, you know? One way or another, it all works out, balances one another out, and if you can buy something with the extra cash. Damage Control.
That's facts on facts.
Looking to try and get a bit of extra cash in this round by keeping as many players alive as they possibly can. But seems like they'll be able to do that fairly easily. Nothing coming through just yet for Orgless Katte. Oh no, Zox, you can't miss those, lads. Those were the free shots you have to connect on. And Crazy is here, so he's going to be getting his 250 Steam voucher. He only entered a minute ago. There we go, Garth. The odds, they know no variables. If your name is in the list, you stand an equal chance of winning. That's how it goes.
It's just the way the crumble cookies on these parts, eh? It's just the way the crumble cookies.
Yeah, the crumble cookies in his favor this time, I guess. But the one thing I can say is we got a lot of giveaways coming up over like the next few weeks. I believe we're doing shirts as well. I might just be completely spreading fake news right now. I don't know, just correct me, Reese, if I am. Put me back in my corner. But I'm pretty sure we're giving away shirts as well. And if you guys have seen us on camera, yes, we're not just sexy beasts. We're also wearing sexy shirts. So, you can win yourself one of these shirts that we've got going as well. And they're really sick, by the way, the season T-shirts. I really like how dark they decided to make the black as well. It just
Really
gives
nice
it a bold
material as
definition.
well.
Yeah, nice breathable material.
And I'm not just saying this just because I've got
Yeah,
one.
no hashtag ad at the end of that one, bro. That was of your
Genuinely.
own volition.
Yes.
Look at Zox. Look at how aggressive he's getting. He's been able to get behind the short smoke. Has Style spotted him? I don't think he has right now, Nick. Look at the position. Style is holding short right now. As that smoke fades, that's when Zox is going to be hoping to take the fight. He's just sitting waiting right now, using the audio cues. He doesn't know where to look. How quick is Style going to be on the trigger? Doesn't expect Zox to be in that position. Really sneaky play there from the young man. Oh man, that's tough, bro. That's a tough pill to swallow. But I like that innovation from Zox on the CT side. You have Dust.
Yeah, definitely. That's something important. Now, Orgless Katte once again find themselves a man to the good. But the question is, can they convert around like this? We saw them throw a couple of them away over on Inferno. So the question is, can they convert this? It's already 5v4, another gun round. You can't let another one of these go to waste. So they're going to be playing 2 players over towards short, 1 in CT, 1 towards bottom middle, and 1 towards B. Long control has been forfeited to damage control, as this deep CT smoke is going to be thrown in. Going to go for more aggressive plays.
Yeah, that's why I was saying no. You've got the man advantage. This is where you just need to try and secure the round from here. You've got full short control. You know that they have to come through long. Falls on the angle with the AWP. Will take down Wounded. And there's no util to force them off here. There's no flashes, Nick. So they have to keep on taking lights again and again. They're not spaced well enough to find the tree and falls with the lightning fast flick will destroy Instant. And I'm liking what I'm seeing from this young man here in this first match in the EGL 1 Season 2. He's already displayed that he's got some lightning quick reflexes with this AVP.
Yeah, definitely something to keep in mind. He does God's work with the AWP, gets the 6th round on the board for Orgless Katte, and now damage control. They're staying on the barrel of a double eco if this round doesn't go their way. So yeah, Orgless Katte are going to be looking to do as much damage as possible. An early 2-man B setup could allow them to reap the rewards of this, as it does look like. Oh, PND almost hits that shot towards upper B. That would have been
Falls hits that.
Yeah.
I'm joking. Sorry. just bantering my lad Carlo there when he watches this back. But it's a big round job for DC. They got the AKs across the board. They got the util as well. Looks like they're setting up for a B split here. They got a couple players in upper dark. They've got all the util in the world to make it happen as well. Smoke starting to come in as well. Zox, is he going to try and intercept it? No. Happy to let it land. No gaps in the smoke either. Flash actually comes through, but Zox can't immediately capitalize. He does eventually find Wooden, and Destroyed gets in on the mix as well, but he ends up going down. Maybe feels like he's been left slightly high and dry there, but Zox, but still PND with that AWP frag. That's what leads Orgless Katte to have the big advantage right now in this round. You can see Hellhound frantically spraying through the smoke, trying to trade him out. PND just needs to stay alive for as long as he can here. Not able to connect on the no-scope, but not going to be changing the course of this round, surely, as Awesome has found Style, and they know Hellhound is rooted in this B-bomb site. They've got the cross covered as well. Hellhound, he wants to force the issue here, playing up close to the doors. I totally understand his school of thought, though. He can't just sit nestled in the corner and wait for them to come. He's going to get wrapped on from both archers and from the ramp, so he has to try and make something happen.
Yeah, definitely. You got to respect that. You can, as you said, you can understand his train of thoughts. He's trying to isolate a duel, isolate a 1v1, and that's how you win those clutches. I mean, if he actually gets that kill towards doors, then he's allowed to reposition, possibly hold tunnels, maybe gets a frag on Awesome, and then we'll be singing his praises until damage control retire, which is pretty much never. You know, they're going to be playing this game.
No, that's Did you see like the photo that Betway put up recently of Olaf Meister? It's like 2045 in I Am Kidovitsa dropping a 30 kill, a 30, and he's like this old man with like all the wrinkles and the grey hair. That's going to be these guys. They don't know any end. They keep grinding forever. Trying to turn up the pace though in the eco damage control as they speed up onto the say bomb site, upgraded pistols and a smoke, and the bomb's been able to get across as well. Orgless Katte, they sort of just committed the 3 players to the to long to take the early fight, maybe anticipating a rush, but the rush has come up short, and Orgless Katte have been left wanting a little bit here. There's also still a player posted in the middle, and he's going to go down. That was such a big kill, because if Wounded finds that, all of a sudden they can focus towards the A site, but this should be easy pickings from here. So much util, not so much util, only one more smoke, so gonna have to be some concentration employed here by X Energy as they mop up this A site. Zox making sure that they've got the flank under wraps, and it's just Hellhound left. He's been smoked off, so he has to force the issue, and there we go, job done.
Yeah, job done. 3 men staying alive, which is really, really good for how things will fare in the future rounds. Double AWP saved even, so that can be dropped back over towards Falls, and the AUG dropped back over towards Destroyed. So things are looking good for Orgless Katte. 8 rounds to the good. towards damage control. That was an eco round for damage control, so I'm pretty sure they'll be pretty chuffed with that 2 frags as well as a bomb plant. And possibly them exploiting short like that. That's possibly something they could do on a gun round, but it does look like it is going to be the opposite of short. Long is going to be the one under question. Style is posted towards this corner. The flashes are trash, to say the least, and falls. He's going to be the first to fall. Awesome gets the trade, however. Which does
he's lucky. He's fortunate that Awesome was in the vicinity to get that trade, because if damage control were able to get that early pick and then get out with all 5 players, that would have been such a nice start to the round. But look at Destroyed in lower tunnels right now. He takes down Wounded. He's just being such a menace, Nick. I mean, not using the AWP in this part of the map at all. Wants to use the rifle, wants to be dynamic. And because he has all this information right now, Orgless Katte are able to commit their resources towards the A bomb side and middle.
Destroys his T-spawn.
Yeah, and he's wrapping with the AUG. The timing might be there for him as well on the bomb carrier. Yeah, Inson's gonna get spotted out and taken down. And Explicit's also just trying to back off from Long, loses his life as well. Just Style left with the AWP in hand, but no teammates, no bomb. Wants to find this pick here before he doubles back, but Falls isn't giving him anything. I really like this discipline from Falls as well, by the way. Not hanging around unnecessarily. He knows he has no interest in trying to maintain control of that A bomb site. His team has the bomb, and his main objective right now is to make sure he keeps his hands on this AWP. So, here we go.
Yeah, I mean, I respect it. You know, you're playing the long game. If he can keep this AWP up, I do believe he could fall.
What?
Okay.
What did we do?
Zox?
I don't know how that missed, to be fair. Oh, it's actually Zox who had the AWP. I kept saying Falls, did I? My mistake, regardless.
They're basically the same person.
Same
both
point.
young, both good at the game.
Point was that it was the AWPer.
Yeah.
Style's going to look to save his here. Destroyed's above him. I wonder if he drops down here into CT or not. I mean, if he kills him post-timer, that would be a catastrophe to say the least. But doesn't think so. Oh, he's coming, he's coming. Oh my god. Misses the headshot, which means that Style will be staying alive. Tac timeout called here by damage control. And 9-4. So a bit of a run here. A run of form for Orgless Katte. 4 consecutive rounds for them now, Nick.
Yeah, things are starting to look really good for them. They're starting to put damage control in the ground. I mean, if Orgless Katte get this round and the one next, I mean, we spoke about the saving on Inferno. It sort of unbalances the economy. It's done the same in this round. I mean, you have saved an AWP, so it's a lot more real estate than usual. So they are still going to force up around it. Hellhound is the player. I don't think there's a gun on the floor for him, so I think he's just down on a P250, getting that full bolt of utility. You got to respect the play like that. He's chosen to get the full bolt of utility rather than possibly a rifle, which I think is definitely the better play. So it is going to be a 4-1 again, just Style posting towards middle and 4 players going towards B. Going to accelerate towards lowers, does look like. So possible fast mid B on the cards. As damage control, they got to start posting some rounds. You know, 4 rounds on the T side. Dust. Oh, you can say it's CT, you can say it's T side, but I personally believe it's a little bit. It leans a bit more towards the T side. So
yeah, I as well. I think so as well.
I think damage control. They got to get some more rounds. Zox towards bottom middle. He's gonna take down Explicit. Pretty much shutting off this mid B.
Yeah, which is a bit of a problem because the players in Upper Dark were relying on the individuals to come through middle and take some of the heat off. Somehow both Instant and Zox both bypass each other. Not going to be happening for a second time. However, Awesome, he's able to pick up 2 quick kills. And that should be solidifying the round because it's now all just the remaining 2 players cooped up in middle. And Awesome is just farming them right now as he finds a 3rd kill in the round. And that was that all-important gun round destroyed. He's going crazy right now. He's 19-8. He's really feeling it, and this is something that Destroy can do. He has the capability to just take over servers. And in the original iteration of the X Energy team, it felt like he might have been slightly overshadowed by maybe his brother, because you think back to 2019 and 20, Destroy was seen as like one of the up-and-coming star players in South African Counter-Strike, and now I think he's got a little bit more elbow room in this team to sort of display that mentality once again.
Yeah, I think Destroyed is definitely one of those players where, as you said, he takes the round by the scruff of the neck. I think he's the X factor of this Orgless. I don't think it's a reach to say that, but I'm going to hold my thought. PND is going to trade out the frag onto Falls, and Zox is going to be the player under question. Long control is going to go the way of Awesome, so pretty much playing retake on the same bomb side, but again, the bomb seems to be in no man's land.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Check where the bomb is. That's a problem because it could be a free plant for damage control right now. And you can see Orgless Katte, like, what's going on? Where are they?
The supports are going to serve them well, but is Destroy going to catch him on the cross?
Oh, did he see him? I think he did.
See him.
We did see him, or was it the X-ray that that helped us out? I'm not sure.
They definitely didn't see him because Panda's now on B, but they're gonna go towards short.
Okay.
So what is going on?
Destroy's actually the key in the round right now for X Energy, because if he can find a kill here without going down, that's going to be allowing the quick flank up shorts. He's going to be getting the audio cues now as well, so that's going to be solidifying the information that Orgless Katte. Remember, this is the final round of the first half here, so no reason for them to look to try and save. Destroy's been able to get quite far forward here, but Explicit, he sends him into another dimension. And that earns damage control, the one-man advantage here in the post-plant situation. Quite a lot of util in reserve for X Energy, and also making his way up long here, clearing out the angles, going to use the flashbang to his advantage. He knows that smoke was thrown from the site, but this round should be over from here. Surely this 1 versus 3 is just out of his reach. He has an idea that there could be a player towards Gandalf. He has the smoke as well. He spots it off the player's head. Oh my god, he runs out of ammo. That was actually just such a big brain play, the way he smokes off short like that, and then he looks to try and take the fight with the player in Gandalf, but unfortunately he just doesn't have enough bullets in the clip. Damage control win the final round of the first half, and they give themselves a fighting chance as they head into the CT side, Nick.
Yeah, 10-5, definitely. If you win the pistol round, things are going to start to look good. If you're damage control and you post the anti-eco after that, you start to look at a 10-8 scoreline down the barrel. So damage control, not out of it just yet. We speak about what they can do, and I think possibly... I think the T side is probably where a new team struggles the most. I think CT... Actually, there's two trains of thought, because, you know, T side, you're playing off your teammates a lot more. However, CT side, there's a lot more protocols you have to understand. You know, the rotates, how you're going to play with your teammates, how your other teammates decide to play sites. So I think there's a bit of a different train of thought, but I think possibly that the T side is possibly where, especially 3 new members, I think you're going to struggle a bit more. But maybe on a map like Dust 2, you're able to 4-1. So
exactly. Like, I completely agree with like the point that you're making in general here, because it sort of applies to every map, especially the technical ones, the technical T sides like Nuke and Train and Overpass. That's where you really need the coordination and the communication to be on point. But on Dust 2, it's got a lot more, you know, leeway for error sort of thing. You can just play the 4-1s out as we normally see in South African Counter-Strike. You just rely on the firepower, the trading, the spacing. You just a couple pop flashes for one another. Doesn't have to be too fancy, right?
Yeah, definitely. So maybe they'll reap the rewards of being able to 4-1 on a map like Dust 2. So again, we spoke about the individual power, so maybe the individual firepower rather. So maybe they're going to be able to put up some sick rounds on the T side. But it pretty much comes down to this pistol. If damage control loses this pistol, then it's going to be looking real rough. And just a quick look at the scoreboard. We've got Talhan down at 2-14. Style and Ensign at the top of the scoreboard, 3-11. But I mean, Destroyed and Awesome taking the reins to the side of X Energy, playing at the top of the game.
The 2 Org players, right?
It's only facts on facts.
Coincidence? I think not.
Not at all. Not at all.
If you're using an M4 on the CT side of this map, what are you doing with your life? You need to ask some serious questions when you look yourself in the mirror.
I agree. I can only agree.
Alright guys, we just got a bit of a tech pause here to sort out a server issue. We will be underway once again. This is the Evesports EGL 1 2021 main event, Season 2, baby. We've got support from the tournament organizer, from the sponsors. It's things you love to see, guys. It's what the scene needs to keep it stimulated, to keep it pumping. We're going to be running this double elimination bracket, not over 1 weekend, not over 1 week, not over 1 month. It's going to be over 8 weeks. We're going to be running one double elimination bracket, which is, I mean, often what we see for an entire event that's run over 1 weekend. And what that means is we're going to be catching majority of the games played throughout this event. Every single game is a best of 3, and it's just awesome that we can, you know, sort of be a part of the entire journey, the entire process. It's not just like 30 games happens over 3 days and that's the event done and dusted. There's a little bit more sustenance to it. We can create more content, we can create more highlights around the players, because essentially that's what Evesports is all about, is trying to create spotlight on the players, try and give them opportunities to showcase their capabilities. And we're back into the second half.
And there's no better way to showcase a player's ability than when the round is live, and that's exactly what's happening here. It looks like Orgless Katte, they're going to go for an extremely fast mid-B. That smoke thrown by Destroyed is a mid-B smoke from spawn.
Yes.
However, the perfect counter is to go short, which is going to catch out these lowest players. And Style being down 4v4. Ooh, nice.
Oh, style! That was a dirty one. That second kill is really what's sort of set the teams apart right now. Zox left in the clutch, desperately looking for the USP, I think, but not able to find it. Now has to fight his way out with the Glock. Been able to get across, but the problem is he doesn't have the C4 on his back. So this is a very tough position that he finds himself in right now. Pretty much the only thing that he has going for him is that there's some time left on the clock. Wouldn't actually have minded seeing him go back through the tunnels to try and maybe wrap around and find a kill. I mean, if he can find a plant from this position, even that would be a pretty decent result. He's going to fake, though. Takes the fight with Instant. I actually really like the decision-making there. You notice how he jumps up on the first box, and then from there fakes, and then he knows how quickly he can get up to the window. But unfortunately, it doesn't work out the way he intended it to.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Damage Control needed. They needed that round to have some sort of a comeback in this game. And I mean, Hellhound, he's the type of player who can snowball. Wounded can be the same about them, so I don't think those scorelines are going to be looking the same for too much longer.
Never like to see somebody in spawn. What? What's up?
Zox,
did he just destroy Hellhound? I think Destroy might be timing out here, but X Energy won't mind too much because it's pretty much a full eco. The only thing invested into the round was Zox's Desert Eagle, and he's actually been able to pick up a frag with that. So from here, X Energy, they just need to buy time. It's just like, let's just use this as a tech pause, right?
Yeah, chat things over, see what you can do in the first gun round, which is going to follow. So,
did you see what FaZe did against against
boost
Navi in the final on
Oh.
T-spawn of this map?
Oh, they lined up for him.
Actually able to find another kill, but Destroy does time out, so we're gonna have to just wait for him to join the server again. But yeah, the boost in T-spawn, it's like the complete contrast to what compared to what Navi used to do. Navi used to just rush straight away. They'd even like all 5 players, like a moth to a flame, would go stand in a molly just so that they could get the round over with. Whereas FaZe were like, yeah, we're gonna make you guys wait 1 minute and 20 seconds, and then we'll all die.
Yeah, definitely, and I think that tournament was sick to see. Obviously FaZe have just added Carrigan now, and that was the last hurrah for all of Master, which I think is really
that
really
game
sick.
against Liquid though, bro.
My favorite part about every FaZe game that I watched was every time it went to the player cams, everyone just had the biggest smile on their faces.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Everyone's
I couldn't agree with you more, bro.
Smiling from ear to ear, laughing, making jokes.
Yeah, especially Cold. Like, he really looks like he's enjoying himself in that FaZe team. And I was super skeptical after Nico left, because remember, the whole reason that Cold joined FaZe in the first place was to play with Nico. So I thought once Nico jumped ship, like, Cold would be like, I'm not so sure about this project anymore. But he seems to have, like, made it his own now. And now the fact that Carrigan has joined the team, so the EGL responsibility is going to be taken off his shoulders. This FaZe team could actually become the best team in the world with Twists in the mix as well. Like, I'm very, very excited by the prospect of this FaZe team. I mean, let's not forget, they haven't had a proper, like, all core 5 committed team for what feels like months, bro.
Yeah, and I think this FaZe team is definitely top 5, top 6 is definitely on the cards. I think they can be thrown in the conversation with Complexity, with Liquid, who are looking in form, with Fallen, with Navi, with like Virtus Pro, with Evesports, with like the best teams in the world. You know, Astralis.
Yeah, for sure.
I
Vitality,
think,
of course.
Obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, we watching Dust 2 and we don't mention Vitality. Like, that would be horrible. But now Vitality, I mean, they have Apex taking leave.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
which is, you have to sort of question that, right? I mean, obviously, he was going to have to take a break somewhere because he's just been playing so much Counter-Strike for a very long time now. And also, they had that rotation policy with Navera and Shox and of course, Masuta sometimes stepping out as well. So Apex was like one of the 2 players himself, and I think RPK as well. And then obviously Zaiwu were the only ones who were playing every single map for the team. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that was it.
Yeah.
So he was playing a lot of Counter-Strike, and he was taking a lot of responsibility as the IGL as well. So it's no surprise to see that Burnout came in, but you just have to wonder. I mean, I don't think it's as malicious as Astralis was with like bringing in Yugi and Snappy and Bubsky, and it's like no, we're making a 10-man roster. We're gonna make this work, I promise. And then it's like, as soon as the core 5 are all fit and healthy, it's like, yeah, change the plan, lads. We're gonna keep playing with this roster now. Like, I just feel so bad for Bubsky in that team, man, because he's almost, you could argue, in like the prime of his career, and he's just bench warming so hard in that team.
Yeah, it is rough, and it's sort of like the way in which we see CS going in EU, which is like the sort of 6-man roster and having like a player subbed out now and again, which is kind of interesting to keep in question in terms of
Yeah.
In the South African scene, we obviously don't see stuff like that because every 2 seconds is a roster change, you know?
Yeah.
We're lucky if a team's together for more than 6 months until the
Yeah, for
annual
sure.
roster shuffle comes through, and then everyone's jumping ship, and then a
Yeah.
whole bunch of stuff like that. So it's a bit rough. It's a bit rough. I think it'll be a hot minute before we see 6-man rosters in South Africa.
Oh, bro, dude, we don't have coaches in South Africa because everyone wants to be a player. There's no way somebody's going to be like a 6th player because they're happy to just play 1 or 2 maps sort of thing for the team. I don't think so. Yeah. I don't see it happening anytime soon either. We're generally very far behind the curve, and it's not like burnout is a massive issue in South Africa either, right? Because it's not like we have endless amounts of events that are just being played every day. We will see teams that have like a regular stand-in, you know, that might be a thing, but I don't think we'll ever get as far as like a committed 6-man roster where they're actually using the players interchangeably. But I mean, you saw Valve. They already like sort of killed the 6-man roster thing by bringing in the fact that you can't interchange players in a series. It's like these guys have got their heads so far up their own asses. It's actually ridiculous, man. I can't believe how bad Valve are at actually dealing with keeping up to date with the esports scene of Counter-Strike.
And there's the whole thing with the coaches now, like for Valve events, so for any RMR events and the major itself, no coaches for that either. So I think they clamped down on it hard, and then they sort of went the next level. So they said, you know, coach bug, that was a problem, and they canned coaches pretty much altogether, which is rough.
But you see, again, like my biggest issue with it is that like this coaching bug was brought up to them in like 2015 or something stupid, dude. Like
exactly.
In the inner circle, this has been known about for a long time, and now they're gonna turn around and be like, yeah, well, we knew about it, but you guys still used it, so now we're gonna ban you. It's like, why didn't you just fix it in the first place so it was never an issue, you know?
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's always just so reactive. And guys, we've sort of turned this into podcast mode at the moment because Destroyed has unfortunately disconnected, and I saw his girlfriend saying his power went off, so hopefully he'll be able to get that back and
I think
up and running.
Flexi is gonna come in.
Oh,
in,
is it?
Yeah, I think.
What are your sources? Give me. Is it tomato or mustard?
Big fan of tomato or gold. Can't really go wrong, you know. Nah, but that's what the admin nobody with about 7 was at the end of his name, maybe 17. Who knows? He's changing on a daily basis.
I actually still think we need a petition to get Josh to change his name, because every time I'm like, yeah, admin nobody is on it, and it just doesn't work, man. It's like it's like you as well. Yeah, I agree. Go back to Jetstream, bro.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna start calling him Jetstream from now. It was like you as well with the my name is Niix, and I was like, what's up, guys? My name is Haze, and I'm casting with my name is Niix, and it didn't work too well.
Yeah,
so I'm glad you've cut it short. Now you're down to Niix.
Yeah.
You know, and we need to petition
like,
Josh
everything,
as well.
Everything with Faceit and ESEA and all those things, like Niix was taken, so I had to just go for the next thing, you know? Which,
yeah, fair. Why didn't you go like Niix_1?
You know, but then Oaks Chuni, imagine you had numbers
underscore,
in your name.
underscore ZA, it's like, oh, imagine no one knew you were from South Africa already. Oh,
exactly. It's the problems. It's the problems, you know?
So I do see
with super unique names don't have that problem, so could be worse.
Yeah, actually, you know, Haze as well. Like my Discord name right now is Haze ZA, so I'm in that same box, bro. But I see Flexi has open Counter-Strike. Yeah, that's right. I'm that cool. I have him on my friends list, so it seems like your sources are accurate.
What can I say? I do my research.
And he's going to be making a bit of a swan song, like a bit of a final showing here.
To be fair,
the
previous Nodwin tournament, the whole so Awesome would have played on Online Kingdom for that.
Yes.
So Zox PND, actually, I don't know if False has ever been a teammate of Flexi.
So, I don't think so.
It's pretty much going to be a mishmash all of a sudden. And we're speaking about a new roster, and now they're just it's pretty much going to be a pug for the rest of these rounds. Flexi, I mean,
Yeah.
we can speak about him for ages. He's done everything that there's needed to do. He's played with ATK, he's played with 10-0, he's played with overseas players. He knows what's cracking. So it's no downgrade by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, 100%, man. I mean, the one thing you will say is you never really want to be coming into the middle of a second map once all other 9 players have already been playing the whole time, because you're probably going to be a lot colder than the rest of the individuals in the server. But the fact that they are on the T side, that's a nice little bonus, I suppose, because you know, you can sort of play off your teammates. You're not committed to one role, and if you lose your life, it's like you leave your team in a really tough position. So I think it'll be better to be starting off on the T side when you're coming in cold. And they only need 6 rounds, and then he can go back to doing whatever he was doing. So it's it should still be Orgless Katte from here. The thing is Destroyed was the heavy hitter, right?
Yeah, that is definitely something to keep in mind. He finished the first half 19-9 with plus minus 120 ADR. So I mean, Lexi's got big shoes to fill, and the fact that you just said he's launching CS. So he was probably chilling. I don't know what he was doing. Probably
watching
feeding
cat
cats.
videos or something.
Exactly.
Yeah, there we go.
Watching cucumbers scare cats. You know, I think it's so interesting that cats are frightened of cucumbers. Like, Google that on YouTube if you want some spare time. If you're bored, I don't know. Watch that sort of compilation.
You're talking about the right cats here, Nick.
Yeah,
cats
definitely.
and cucumbers.
Don't worry. I know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
I'm rehearsed in this field.
Just
Okay? Maybe not the other one.
Be careful what you see when you Google
about.
cats and cucumbers, everybody. So we're just sorting out the HUD at the moment, guys, and then we'll be getting things underway here once again. But yeah, I mean, second map. This is the first round of Season 2 in the upper bracket right now. X Energy up 1-0 after winning Inferno 16-10. Pretty comfortable. Now they find themselves ahead here on Dust 2. They need six more rounds. Nick, let's look at the buy coming into this round. So this is the first gun round. It's Damage Control picked up the pistol, and then the eco round thereafter. So it's the first gun round here. We're going to have to try and sort out the money for Flexi. I'm not sure if that's even possible. That would be a bit unlucky if he just had to kick things off here with the Glock and armor. Do you see it changing the dynamic here? Do you think that Damage Control are going to win the map now because Flexi's had to come into the mix? Or do you think that X Energy will still close it from here?
I mean, it's tough. It is really tough. However, looking at the 5 on Orgless Katte, I mean, they're not short on firepower. And I mean, you can pretty much just throw Flexi into Destroyed's role, which was just sort of working one side of the map on its own. So you're not really missing too much of the dynamic in that regard, but it does look like they're just going to be sending out Long. And I guess only time will tell to answer that question, as Long is going to be the one under question. A corner smoke comes down, and the flashes come through, as Long control is going to be fought for. Damage control is going to be enough.
Oh my god.
Balls, what? Like, Flexi going to follow him up,
yeah.
and it's going to get 2. And just as we were talking about damage control, being on the ropes, or Orgless Katte possibly closing out this map, 2 frags can be gifted to damage control.
I mean, I think they were just trying to chase them down because they realized they were trying to retreat with damage control. So X Energy, they try and capitalize on that, but they end up actually gifting 2 of their players up. At least Awesome has been able to retrieve the bomb. That's a mini victory. And also PND found a frag towards middle. So it sort of spread the defense a little bit more now. Instin's been spotted as he juggles the weapons, but PND won't be able to capitalize on it just yet. Nice AK, by the way. If we just look at PND's AK, the Black Lamb with the crown sticker and the Titan Hollow. I believe PND's friend won it in a giveaway from Twists, and then PND got it from him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, nice AK skin. And now I like this decision from X Energy. Just hedge your bets, group up with all 3 players, exec onto the A bomb site, try and trade one another. They will need to find this first frag without losing anybody, and that's exactly what they do. Next point of contention is wounded, and they remove him from the equation as well. Zox, the point man, finds both of the frags, and all of a sudden, he owns a one-man advantage for his team. Instant trying the jump shots to deny the defuse, but he's only going to offer his life up to Zox as well. PND finds Hellhound, and X Energy convert the 3 versus 5 into a round win without even losing a player further, Nick.
Things going well for X Energy. The best case scenario running up short onto that bomb site was them getting 1 and the trade not coming fast enough. 3v3 on the bomb site, another player falls towards Long, man advantage all of a sudden for Orgless Katte, and things are looking A for away. And just like that, damage control, they're on an eco, so things aren't looking too great. 4's going to be sent out Long. He missed the flash in the doors, but he's still going to get 1 in the meantime, and this should just be easy pickings for Orgless Katte. It should be 12 rounds on the board, but explicit, he's going to do some gang damage towards Falls, but it's 5v3 rather. Things are going to be training up Long. 1 player lurking out middle, that is PND. He can shoot some players in the back of the head. Oh,
jeez. I mean, it do be like that sometimes.
It do be like that.
Big round here for damage control, I reckon, Nick. Lose this 13-7, eco 14-7. That's probably game, set, match. They've got the double orb setup coming into play here as well. It's the two heavy hitters wielding those weapons, Style and Inson. We saw both of them popping off with the orbs on Inferno on the CT side, and they're going to have to do it here once again. And we spoke about the 4-1s, Nick. You mentioned that's probably going to be the bread and butter here for X Energy, and that's exactly what they're doing right now. They've sent Flexi by himself towards long. That makes sense, while the rest of them group up outside of the B bomb sites. And this is going to be an execute. They're just going to be bursting into this bomb site right now. Hellhound here by himself, nestled in the corner. He's been forced back by the util. He's been blinded up once, twice, and thrice. And finally, he goes down to P&D. Doesn't expect a quick response, but he's still not going to be taken down. On the opposite side of the map, Flexi goes down, but he's already done his job.
Save.
And now it's going to have to be a retake. Oh, you call for save? I think that's a good call. You got the double orbs. You only have one flash. The retake is not on the cards here. I agree with you completely. And that's what they're going to do. I love that strat, though, from X Energy, though, man. They just show early presence towards B, which maybe thinks damage control think it's not going to be the immediate B burst. And as soon as Flexi just draws back, they pop, man. And you just saw all those traces. How many flashes were being thrown into that bomb site? Hellhound, he was blinded for about 6 or 7 seconds there from the continuous flashes raining in.
And especially considering Orgless Katte have conditioned damage control into that heavy long presence. You know, they went long, I think, the 2, maybe the 3 previous rounds. So damage control already have long at the back of their mind. You know, they got to set numbers there, they got to fight there. So they're sending 3 there already. And as we know how Dust 2 works, you more often than not solo. At best case scenario, you got a teammate on B. And if there's 4 people running in with good flashes and good spacing, you can frag out. That's exactly what Orgless Katte did. They went one. They got one frag, Flexi down towards top middle. You're never going to win a 4v4 retake on the B bomb sites. At Dust 2, it's just the likelihood of that happening is super, super low. So Orgless Katte post 13 in our damage control. They did save the orb. One of the orbs actually fell towards the latter end of last round. So it's pretty much a last chance to learn for damage control. They lose this, then things are gonna be looking real rough.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Just want to make a point about Flexi's picture here in the HUD. That was an image they managed to get of him when he was at the shooting range the other day. Check it out if you get to see it, Nick. X Energy making their way up short right now.
What
Got
is
some
it?
util. It's a cat with an AK. It was the Orgless Katte logo from the event that happened recently. But it could also be Flexi if you like close one eye and squint a little bit. X Energy, they're bursting their way onto the same bomb sides. P&D dropped down into CT as well. He's got that smoke to cover him, but Inson with the AWP will remove him from the equation. Can Inson find another on the angle? He's been forced back. This is an okay result for X Energy. Even though they've lost a player, you generally don't mind that if you're able to take full control of the A sites. And Explicit, he's actually getting ahead of the game there. He needed to just wait for his teammates if he was going to be having an impact from that position. So I think that he might have given himself up unnecessarily. And can damage control afford to save again? Nick, I think they have to commit to it this time round. They're using their util to try and aid their cause and getting in the initial steps. Hellhound will find one. Style there to trade him out as well. But will Style expect Flexi in the corner? No. 2 versus 2 as the result. Falls with a big job to do here. Can't connect on the spray. Flexi's in no man's land. He goes down as well. It's Wounded and Inson who deal the 1-2 punch. And they keep damage control alive here on Dust 2.
Yeah, great retake coming out from damage control, but pretty much where that exec fell short is just the spacing, PND dropped towards CT, which is really good. It gives you 2 avenues of attack, but he is so far ahead of his teammates coming up cats, which, it's fine if you have flashes over, default, and your teammates are swinging, or you have flashes over towards the ramp, and you can take those fights, but the spacing just wasn't up to par for Orgless Katte, and that's effectively what lost in the round. So damage control, they post 8, and now they're able to get some decent guns up on the board. The only exception to that rule is Explicit. He's on the FAMAS. So if they win this, then they're going to start to look real good coming into the latter stage of this game.
Oh, don't do it, Explicit. It's not worth... Okay, cool, there we go. I agree with you completely. We'll have to see how things play out. Looks like X Energy want to make their way towards another, maybe a mid to B split here. They got the bomb in upper dark. They got numbers there as well. And it could work out when you see the setup that damage control have employed right now. You can see Explicit sort of reposition himself in towards CT. And in fact...
The sound cues are going to be heard by Wounded, aren't they?
Yeah, I'm not sure if they are. And you can see Flexi just wants to try and keep some attention there towards the opposite side of the map. And in fact, has that smoke affected the setup? Doesn't look like it's changed too much from damage control's perspective. They're just going to burst with all 5 players into the B bomb side. Looks like that might be it. Awesome's just trying to show more presence towards short right now. But Falls, he finds the shot onto Hellhound, and that's going to be prompting the exec to come through. Style with the AWP, he gets the collab, the lineup, the double kill. Zox still finds the supports and explicit. Style back of the bomb site right now. He's going to be taking Awesome's head off as well. Zox will be removing him to maintain the 2 versus 2. Great frags here by Zox just to keep the team in the hunt. And good attention to details. He gets the AWP as well, but he's going to have to commit to the bomb plant.
That's fast.
It's the 2 young guns.
The fast tunnels flank.
Yeah.
How damage control win this round. See, the bomb is going to be stuck. Zox seems to be super aware of this. He's actually posted on this position.
Oh, he's trying to
second contact towards the car. Spots his foot, gets the frag. That's pretty much round done.
Round over, yeah, there's no way Instant expects him. Yeah, great patience from Falls, just nestles himself in the corner, times his peak to perfection, and that's the round going the way of X Energy. Keeping things so simple right now on their T side, which is refreshing to see. They're not trying to be complex, not trying to be too dynamic and try too many tricky things. They know that they've got the stand-in Flexi, who's come in for Destroyed in the latter stages of the map, and so they're just trying to keep things very basic right now, the basics that are paying off. And contrary to what we saw on Inferno, this time they are happy to try and play for overtime, Nick.
Yeah, they decided to bite the bullet. Maybe they weren't a fan of it, but they're playing for overtime, and PND's found a massive hole. He's doubly keyed all the way towards CT, and Zox and PND are going to open up the B-bomb site. That is vacant, and that means it's 15-8. If you're damage control, you've got to post up in tunnels, post up in CT somewhere, in which you can find some exits, but Zox is not having any of it. He's 27 and 11. He is feeding it. 28 and 11.
28, yeah. He's
Hunter
like, alright, it doesn't matter, guys. I'll start fragging for Destroyed and I.
Yeah, exactly. He's spotted his foot. He saw his foot.
Oh. Who needs a bomb plant when you can just rush down the last player, right?
Facts on facts. That's facts on facts.
Alright, so 15-8 map and match point for Orgless Katte right now as they look to try and assert themselves here in the upper bracket and drop damage control down to the lower bracket in the first round, which is just not a position anybody wants to find themselves in. Remember, we've got another match coming up on Thursday, guys. I think it's the XD Club 69 against Royalty, if I'm not mistaken.
No, it's just the normal
mistaken.
XD. It's not.
Is it the normal XD?
I don't think it's XD Club. Oh, that sounds disrespectful. The normal XD. I think.
Well, I mean.
Yeah, I think it's XD Gaming against Royalty.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay,
I'm
cool.
subject to correction on that one, but I'm pretty confident it is that. But, I mean, damage control. They need one hell of a comeback. You know, no one likes the lower bracket, but they're staring down the barrel of that. And I think they're probably going to be the first team. I think they're the second team in the lower bracket. I think ATK beat Hackstack yesterday off stream.
Okay.
So they definitely going to be one of the favorites in the lower bracket.
An upset.
Regardless if it drops down.
Cap. X Energy with all 4 players making their way up long right now. They've been able to get quite far forward as well. Damage control without doing any damage. Explicit able to get out with his life. He's actually lucky. Instant nestled in the corner here as well. Going to be biding his time before he activates. Swings out to try and deny the plants. He's not going to be able to, but he does find a kill onto Zox. After that, he's been immediately traded that off. And it's actually Wounded who picks up the double. Was that from short? I actually think it might have been. And he's going to find PND as well. What a massive sequence that was from the Rifler. As it's just Falls left in the 1 versus 3 clutch now to try and win the round for his team. No kit, but plenty smokes. This is unwinnable for Falls, surely. I don't even think the bomb is properly planted for him. I might be mistaken. He's going to be spotting the first player out, and he connects on the shot. And he nearly has the lineup on the diffuser. He's gonna look for the diffuser. Slightly more left. He still has time. He's going to be connecting on Wounded. That's the diffuser. This is wonderful. I mean, it's this style. Oh my god, Falls, you absolute madman. The lines up through the smoke as Style was desperately trying to get back onto the bomb to make the defuse happen. Unfortunately, he just falls to the same fate that Wounded did. After the Wounded heroics, the triple kill, it's still not enough, Nick. Damage control falter. They lose the map 15-9, 16-8 in the end, and they lose the series 2-0 as a result.
Pluderman making damage control plummet. I wanted to say fall, but you know, that's too mainstream. He's
Yeah,
gonna
I
make
mean,
damage control plummet into the lower bracket.
I'm pretty proud of us. We managed to avoid like the awesome pun for a couple of
Yeah.
times. You threw the style one in there, which made me cringe a little bit. But I gave you your once. Yeah, I gave you your one off. But yeah, a couple punny names we could have used. But what a series! X Energy asserting themselves here in the upper bracket, Nick, and showing that they mean business here in season 2 of the Esports EGL 1 2021 main event. 50,000 rand prize pool. They march on in the upper bracket.
Oh, definitely. And I mean, Orgless Katte, they'll be facing the winner of Sinister 5 against Nibble Conspire, which we saw this heavyweight bout between Orgless Katte and Sinister 5 previously in recent tournaments, and Sinister 5 have actually come out on top against Orgless Katte. So that's definitely going to be a rematch that I'm pretty sure anyone's going to be keen to see.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
But I mean, then ATK are going to be facing the winner of Zion against Instinct, so we're possibly seeing an upper bracket duel between Orgless Katte and ATK in future, which...
Yeah,
ooh, that has me putting my popcorn in the oven already. I mean, in the microwave already. That's all I'm saying.
Maybe a little bit preemptive, Nick. Maybe slightly preemptive, but I see where you're coming from. But that's all the Counter-Strike we have for tonight, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. This was the first round. We've got this for 8 weeks. 8 weeks, you heard me right. That's what we're going to be playing this double elimination bracket out over the next 2 months. Every Tuesday and Thursday at 7:15 in the evening on this very channel. Make sure you go follow the Evesports socials so that you can keep up to date with all the updates on who's going to be playing and when they're going to be playing. That's just at Evesports. And I mean, yeah, great way to start off the evening with the game. X Energy looking solid. Zox looking great, by the way, on Dust 2. Destroyed popping off. Falls looking flicky as ever with that AWP. P&D had his rounds as well. And then, of course, the name that I can't remember did I mention Awesome? Okay, it's not Awesome, man. And his debut event with the team as well, looking pretty solid. So I'm excited about the future prospects with this team. As for damage control, Nick, there were glimpses, right?
Yeah, there definitely were. I mean, we speak about on Inferno when Orgless Katte found themselves in those 5v4s. And the fact that damage control can take those rounds back and reel them in show that they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. And I mean, they're definitely not going to be out of the tournament just yet. They found themselves in the low bracket, yes. But I mean, it's still best of threes. They can still take down so many names. So they're definitely not out of the conversation for taking it late in this tournament. But I mean, as we said, Orgless Katte are finishing at 2-0. Fast as you like. I mean, Destroyed, unfortunately, his power went out. But I mean... Flexi making the solo performance. I mean his sort of debut, if you will, in this tournament. I think that's pretty much going to be the only match.
The one and done.
Yeah, he's like, guys, I showed up for like 7 or 8 rounds. Check you guys, and that's
got the win for you as well. You know, exactly. You'll be right in that.
That's all that matters.
Well, guys, like I said, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Shout out to all the crew in the back as well, working hard, pushing all the buttons, making sure everything's running smoothly. We have a big crew behind us, guys. Of course, the faces on your screens are just the mere voices in your ears as well. There's so much else going on behind the scenes, from admins to videographers to editors to production, you know, to observers. We have it all right now, even in the the offices and everything like that, planning things out. So do not be deceived. There's a big team here besides Evesports, and everybody is working really hard to make this the best product we possibly can. So make sure you support the tournament organizer. But for now, that's all we have for you guys. We'll be back on Thursday. As Nick said, I'm taking his word for it. So if I'm wrong, make sure you add him on social media and not me. We've got XD Gaming versus Royalty on Thursday, same time, same place. Make sure you join us. It's been a pleasure. Have a good rest of your night. Stay safe, and we'll see you on Thursday.